Welcome to a series of podcasts discussing series of films.
I'm Matt.
I'm Dave.
In a world inundated with prequels, sequels, spin-offs, and reboots, we ask the question,
Do we need one more? I think we do.
I think we don't. You know what's fun about this week's episode?
What's fun about this week's episode?
Well, not just because in the movie we're covering, but the actual episode. This is our time travel episode.
Yes.
In the sense that by the time this episode comes out, history will be changed. That the future will be changed.
In what way?
In the way that, and I was talking about this with a friend of the podcast. We've mentioned him many times, Nathan.
Hey, Nathan.
Was talking to him about this because he was asking what episodes were coming out. I told him this episode was coming out on, what day is this coming out on again? It's
2 weeks?
2 weeks from now on the 12th. So when this comes out on the 12th, this is the time travel.
Yeah.
At the time of recording, I'm not engaged. When the episode comes out, I'll be divorced. No,
He's calling it right now, Babe Ruth style.
I will be engaged. I had the idea to take the right instead of the left.
I saw it in your eyes. I saw you I saw you take the left turn right at the last second.
There's a joke right there.
I was like, I saw you going, and then I was
yeah, just like that. But no,
so funny.
When the episode is out,
well, congrats.
I'll be engaged. I know.
Yeah. Hopefully she says yes. Otherwise, we have to re-record this whole thing.
If she says no, I will. I've been saying it. I said it to her family. I said an act of God, I think, would have to happen because it's been 6 years. It would be crazy if she was like changed my mind.
Well, congratulations, my man.
Thanks. I just wanted to do it now and say it because she still doesn't know it's happening.
Ooh.
And now I'm saying it on mic.
On mic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck with the proposal and congratulations.
Well, thank you. It will have already it's going to happen quite soon after last week's episode comes out.
Yes.
So I will have had some time with it.
It'll come out in 2 weeks from now, but it's today for the people listening, but it was 2 weeks ago for them.
Yes.
This is very much like the movie we're talking about
This
today.
is what I'm saying. This is the time travel episode.
Yeah. What's the movie today?
The movie today is Back to the Future Part 2.
Part 2.
Last week we talked about the first one.
Which
ends on...
friend of the show and brother of the show.
Friend of show and brother of you.
Brother of me.
Yep. Yeah, we had a good time.
Hi, brother.
I quoted a lot. I can't promise that I won't also quote a lot.
We'll probably quote this whole movie. This movie these movies are very quotable.
That's true. They're maybe one of the most iconic movies of all time.
Probably. I understand why the directors are in jail.
Yeah.
Not actual jail, director jail. Because I think they're holding it hostage.
These movies are in jail. I was going to say Zemeckis is doing whatever the fuck he wants.
He kind of is just doing whatever he wants, I guess. But I feel like
his last movie was from a single unmoving camera.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Pinocchio.
No.
Do we count that?
Well, he directed it, unfortunately.
I guess we do count it.
It is a part of his filmography.
Was that actually in theaters or did that go straight to streaming?
I think it went straight to streaming.
Okay. I'm mad about it because a while ago I had an idea to do a Pinocchio movie. Like I had a whole pitch for it. And I still haven't watched that movie, but I know they didn't do it.
Yeah, it's. I've seen clips from that movie, and it's fucking insane.
Yeah, it seems. It's interesting to see those kinds of choices from Zemeckis.
Yeah,
considering like this trilogy that we're talking about has got such great choices.
Well, like Back to the Future, like the whole trilogy, but you know the first movie, and then I'll get in a little bit about my love for this movie in particular in a second. But like Back to the Future and Who Framed Roger Rabbit are like two like shifts of like they're two massive movies in film history.
Like, technically, intricate, massive,
and they're big movies for me, as I'm sure for hundreds and thousands of millions of people. And then Zemeckis is kind of just like, I do think Roger Rabbit and then this movie we're talking about kind of, and I say this with love, because I love Robert Zemeckis. My first short film, I thanked him in the special thanks. I don't fucking know him. I just put him in there, just saying like, thank you for making movies and making me want to make movies. But
We'll
like,
start thanking directors, see if they notice.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll be like, thank you, Orson Welles, and then we'll wait to hear back.
What could go wrong?
Nothing.
This is the time travel episode. We can make it happen.
Exactly. But like, I feel like, and yeah, so I say this with love, but like, I think these Roger Rabbit and Back to the Future 2 kind of like broke his brain a little bit, or at least it not broke his brain, but it shifted his filmmaking career.
Yeah. Okay. What's the timeline? Is it Back to the Future, Roger Rabbit, then part 1, part 2, part 3, or is it?
I believe so. 2 and 3 come out. I mean, these are shot like
Yeah, it's like 89 for part 2, and then 1990.
Yeah.
For
And
3. But when does Roger Rabbit come out in those?
Roger Rabbit is 88. So yeah, so it's
88.
the next
okay,
movie
so
after.
it's literally just one after another is a run of the most insanely technical movies I've ever seen.
Because that was
actually this one I think is more technically insane than the third one, but that one still got some crazy shots in it. But
I think this is the one where he clearly he did Roger Rabbit, and he was like, I think I said this to you off mic, that it's like he does Roger Rabbit, and then he's like, oh, I could like use this for time travel. Like the way that we did motion control cameras to put cartoons in the real world, I can make Michael J. Fox play 11 different people, and he'll have the time of his life, which he is.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I'm not doing the other show right now. Let's go.
Yeah. He's
I don't
like,
have to be driven there on set to take a nap in between.
I can sleep finally. But yeah, like
he's like, sleep. He does like the Sirius Black into the mattress.
Fuck yeah.
Me coming back after a long shift.
And by a sleep, we mean to say to end the heartache.
And tomorrow, and tomorrow,
truly,
and tomorrow.
But no, I think these movies kind of adjusted how he makes his movies, because from here on out, it's always about like the toys.
It kind of is.
I'm not saying he hasn't made
tech
a
forward
good movie since this, because I don't think so.
No, because I mean, he did Castaway.
Yeah,
like, and that movie is like phenomenal. I mean,
Contact, right? Isn't that Zemeckis?
Yeah, is Contact a Jodie Foster one?
Yeah.
Yes, he did. That movie's like 99% good. There's like 1% of it that's like really does not age well because of the effects in it, but
fair.
But everything they're going for, phenomenal. I watched it during COVID, and it was like, I was like, this is a great movie. And then there was like the wackiest CGI shot you've ever seen. You go like, oy. And then it like goes back into being like a really like engaging, cerebral, like, what is our place in the universe kind of movie.
Well, it's like all that.
So I still recommend it, even with that 1% being like as wonky as it is.
Well, it's like Forrest Gump is all about like, oh, we put Tom Hanks in all these things.
He's still on an insane run, I think.
Like obviously all of the performance capture films that he's made, like Here has like a bunch of that stuff. Pinocchio has a bunch of that. Like he likes to do.
We don't have to talk about Pinocchio.
We don't need
Let's talk about the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio.
That movie, a movie.
Actually, that movie.
Seen.
There's that movie's phenomenal, and I think has made will be cemented. I don't think there's the reason to do any more Pinocchio movies after, but that's for another episode. I think
that's true. A Pinocchio series.
We'll do it. We could.
Hey, yeah, I'm down. But yeah, no,
we'll determine if there's room for me to do one, and then we'll move back on to other stuff that people want to hear about.
But yeah, like I as much as I love these movies, I am kind of like he became a different filmmaker.
He does
after
he
this.
Does, yeah.
But I still, I still love the man. Like, you know what I mean? He's still Bobby Z. I mean, The Walk, like they do the whole, like.
I forgot he did The Walk. The Walk is good. That's a good one.
I haven't seen The Walk the film, but I've seen The Walk of it. I've seen that portion of it. I saw.
Just the titular walk.
The walk itself.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very.
Really effective.
It's a good movie.
But yeah,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt looks incredibly Asian in that movie, but he's playing French. So
I do know he's playing French.
Yeah.
Yes,
but they do something with he's wearing contacts, and whatever they're doing with his eyebrows make him like extra.
What does he look like in that movie? I'm looking it up.
I don't know. I think it's that thing of like they're trying to make him look like the real guy, but the choices end up like enhancing, like, because I think everyone has kind of assumed that he's like Asian American or something, but he is not. To my knowledge.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, and then in that movie, the choices of hair and contacts make him look extra that. Which doesn't like hurt the watching of the movie. Well, I guess it's a little distracting because you're just like...
He's Jewish.
Yeah.
His Parents are Ashkenazi Jew.
Nice.
Yeah. Which is
but yeah, just look at him and like it's just like
fiance is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
I just didn't know that.
Yeah, she found out kind of recently. She did like a 23andMe.
She did the 23andMe.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or one of those ones. But
was it like when Anderson Cooper found out he was on his?
Yeah, it was like one of. Well, she knew she was Jewish.
It's one of the greatest clips on the internet.
But she didn't know how Jewish she was, and then she got the report back, and she was like, "Oh, I'm pretty Jewish."
That's fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
Good for her.
Yeah. But I will say, what is your? We'll kind of jump into it. What is your relationship with this movie, with Back to the Future Part 2?
This one, I mean, like with all the Back to the Future movies, like my family would watch. I think we'd watch the first one a lot, just like on its own. But usually, if we started that one, it would trigger a domino effect, and we would watch Part 2 and Part 3 like pretty quickly after. So this is like with Star Wars, where I've like watched it like a bunch.
Sure.
I haven't watched 2 and 3 in a very long time. So it's been fun. It was fun to rewatch this. I think it's been a couple of years, and I was due for a rewatch on these ones. But
valid.
but yeah, I do have one specific memory of being at a daycare, and we all got to vote on a movie, and I can't remember what the other options were, but one of them was Back to the Future Part 2. But I was at an age where I actually did not know that I had already seen it. Like I was like weirdly young and was like, Back to the Future Part 2 sounds awesome. I want to watch that. So I voted for it when it put on. I was like, oh wait, I've seen this movie.
Fair. I mean,
I was like young enough to like not remember that
sometimes.
I knew the title, but I also like was like, I'm like, that sounds badass. And we were watching, I'm like, I'm very confused.
You're like, right.
Yeah. Because this is probably the from the plot standpoint, the most
this is
confusing, I guess, but like this is the most like intricate of the three, I think.
This is the one that most constantly involves time travel.
Yes. Because the first 1 and 3, they're stuck basically, and then it's like we need to get back to the future. This is the only one where that's not.
There's antics.
This one is like just time travel here, time travel that. This one's probably the most stressful of the 3 because there's a lot of like, oh my god, you guys have rewritten everything.
Well, I mean, they change history and they go back to a dumpster fire of a world. Like, there's a moment. We'll get to this later in the movie, but like I saw on the newspaper when they're looking through the newspaper in the alternate 1985, where one of the like articles it says Nixon to seek 5th term. And I was like, right, so this is a nightmare universe.
Yeah, where they travel to present day America.
We're gonna get into that. I'm
Do we
getting
have
into
to?
that. I am. It's so obvious.
It's like one man watched this and went, I know my destiny. And we were like, no.
It's fucking I'm taking that, I'm putting it in my back pocket. But you can't not talk about it at this day and age with how explicit it is. So I get that you kind of watch. I have a similar background, I guess, with it, and similar to how I described my relationship with the first movie, is that it's like, this is my favorite trilogy of all time. Mm-hmm. Like, I watch these movies all the time. The last time I watched this one, I think, was as a part of that ultimate cut that I brought up, I think, last week. Of all the movies edited together in one. So I watched it like that. But my biggest memory with this movie, and I think I brought it up a little bit last week as well, the first film is my favorite movie of all time. Mm-hmm. The second film is the movie that made me fall in love with making movies. Gotcha. They hold two different places. And then 3 is just really fucking cool, and I really love it.
But yeah, 3 is just, that movie's cool. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it next time.
But when I was a kid, I remember watching the behind the scenes. I watched the behind the scenes to like every movie that had that option available.
Yeah, I did too. I'd like spend summers just going through like my family's like DVD library and just being like, do you have special features? No. Do you have special features? Do you have this? No. Okay.
I still get upset when I like click. I like buy a movie on iTunes or whatever, and I'll buy it, and if it goes straight to the movie, there's no like extras screen. I'm always like, fuck, man, not even worth it. But watching the behind the scenes, I specifically remember them explaining their use of motion controlled cameras for the recreation of the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, and them talking about the ability to go back to the first movie and shoot it from different angles and have all these different vantage points. And I remember being like 8 and being like, that's fucking magic. That's
It
literally
is
magic.
cool, and it's I think. Because this isn't the first movie to use it, right? I think it's
No, Roger Rabbit uses it.
They use it pretty extensively, but I think it was basically they figured it out for Close Encounters, right?
Star Wars actually is the one that first does it.
Oh, did they really? Okay.
They use it. It's the Dijkstraflex, I think, is the camera that.
Yeah, or did they build a better one for Close Encounters? Maybe.
I'm sure they were constantly. I mean, that's ILM. This is all ILM.
Yeah, basically.
But the first
a company built to specifically just figure out weird shit that guys
Exactly.
want. They're like, I have a vision.
Well, that was part of the thing with A New Hope or with Star Wars, the original Star Wars. Like they were trying to map everything in a way that was new, and like I believe that was like really the first use of what we would consider the motion control camera. To composite.
Like it was for the starfighters and stuff.
Yeah,
like
for like the X-wings and the Millennium Falcon.
To get like
and all
more
that
intricate shots and stuff.
Yeah, so it's not just like still. It's so it allows moving, a moving camera in that space.
Yeah.
Because even 2001, I mean, like we talked about a while ago, like the movie uses it well. I'm not saying 2001 is like an inferior special effects movie because it's certainly not. But I'm like, fuck that movie. No,
there's an argument that movie looks better than this one, which this movie looks great.
I would
let
say
me
it
say,
does.
but
I would say it definitely does.
Kubrick's attention to detail is so immaculate that movie will stand the test of time.
Yes, but all the space sequences, the camera is stable. Mm-hmm. It's the things that are moving, but the camera does not move.
True. Yeah.
Star Wars, you have all these sweeping,
sweeping
panning shots
and,
or whatever.
Yeah.
So that kind of gets evolved, and then Roger Rabbit is how he's able to use objects being passed from a cartoon to a real person, and I think that's the stuff that really like ignites Zemeckis' brain of like, oh well, I can have Marty hand something to Marty or whatever. And that creates all the fun that you see him have in this one
basically.
But yeah, so watching those behind the scenes, I was like, oh shit, that's how movies are made, and also how movies are made is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen.
It is. I will say, for the people who don't know how the magical what is it called, the Dijkstra?
No, the first one we used for A New Hope is called the Dijkstraflex. I don't know if they're still calling it that.
Motion control, which is the technique, right? It's basically they have essentially a robotic arm that holds the camera and can recreate the same camera movement as many times as you want.
Yeah.
So if you have an actor doing two costumes like Michael J. Fox does in this movie, you can just stack the images basically and like erase the part where you don't want it, and then you get a seamless image.
That's right.
But it's more complicated than like the like some like Buster Keaton movies or something, or like your Charlie Chaplin stuff where it's just we're doing a split screen.
Yeah.
It's you get the you can move the camera and stuff and get these seamlessly
they still
incredible
use
shots.
Similar, like some of those similar techniques, like specifically like the ones that you can notice, and I don't say that in a negative way, but like if you know the tricks, you can see them happening.
Them you are saying it in a negative way.
Then you know what, Zemeckis, come at me so I can meet you in person and shake your hand and tell you thank you for making these movies. But like when 50s Biff and 2015 Biff.
Sorry, this is totally random. So this we record in an old house. There's no insulation, but this wall's really warm.
Is it really? Oh yeah, that's so weird.
This is the back of the house, so it's nice and warm. I put my hand up and I was like, woo.
But if you're watching the scene with 1955 Biff and 2015 Biff, where they're sitting in the car,
they have the
paint of the car when the two Docs are talking to each
they have
other.
the
It's
lamp.
the lamp.
Really funny. I saw that. I was like, oh, that's funny, and that's not his hand. That
when he tosses him the tool, he hands it around the thing, and it's like you can see where it's happening. It doesn't make it not impressive.
No, it doesn't, because it's also funny. Like as a kid, I remember thinking like the way he did it was so bizarre. I didn't think it was like, why is he being weird? But it was so unique. I've never forgot the way he hands it to him.
Fair.
And then like watching it again, I was like, this is the first time like it's dawned on me what's happening, why he's doing it that way, and like it's just so specific that he's trying to sell it. Like,
and it's still because Doc is such a fucking weirdo that like he could do anything, and you'd be like, yeah, that's probably something that he would do. So him having to lean it around that, like you're
like, don't see my face. You're not looking at my face. This isn't for a special effect for the movie.
there's a lot of like when the two Biffs are in the car and they drive in, you know. 50s Biff is like leaning over the car with his head turned away to camera, and they push in on older Biff, and then they pull back out, and then young Biff is sitting there.
Yeah.
And so it's like, clearly there's a body double there.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of body doubles in this movie,
A lot
especially
of body doubles.
on George McFly.
Yes. What's the history of that again? He just didn't get along with Zemeckis, or like?
There's a couple perspectives of it.
Yeah.
So there's talk that there's the kind of the threads, I suppose, and I'm not endorsing any of them in particular necessarily.
Yeah.
Just saying,
The
like,
story I always heard was he asked for too much money, but
That's one of the
sounds like that's
stories.
the part that's like not entirely true,
I mean,
or maybe
very
just
well,
part of it, I guess. Like,
Yeah. So really, the person that Crispin Glover has a problem with is actually Bob Gale,
nice.
the writer of this movie, and the writer of all three movies. Zemeckis, he works again with on Beowulf. So
Is he in Beowulf?
he is. He's
Wow,
Grendel.
I've never seen that. Is he really?
Yeah.
I've never seen Beowulf.
I
Did anyone
saw
see
it.
Beowulf?
I saw it in school.
Beowulf?
It's kind of cool.
Is it? Okay.
It's
I just
weird.
know
It looks weird and
Is it
gross.
Ray Winston is Beowulf?
Yes, with the body of Alan Richardson.
Just
Alan
kind of
Richardson is
hilarious.
the body double.
Is he really?
A dead ass.
I thought you were making a joke.
No, straight
I
up,
thought you were
Alan
saying he was cut
Richardson
as hell.
is the body double, and they put Ray Winston's face.
That is so funny.
on him.
Well, that sounds like the ultimate like manly man right there.
Truly. But no,
We
but
got the body of Reacher and the voice of.
the villain from Black Widow.
When was the last time you watched The Departed?
Not since I think we watched it together the last time. It's been a couple years.
I don't want to quote the scene because it's so inappropriate and so like misogynistic. But he's got some funny ass lines in The Departed when he like meets DiCaprio for the first time.
I mean, that movie is. Everyone is on
Everyone's-
a performance level.
Yeah,
11.
everyone's
They're-
like locked in. But yeah, he's also indie. It's just you don't know him.
I do love him in Indiana Jones: Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which I will defend at one point on this podcast.
It'll happen.
I've said it before. I don't think it's perfect,
No,
but I don't think it's the worst one.
it's not. I still haven't seen 5.
Maybe that's not my least favorite. It is. That's on Letterboxd. People can see.
Bum, bum, bum,
I don't even hate that movie. Whatever.
Whatever. Well,
But so Crispin
another
Glover.
episode.
Yes, Crispin Glover has said he definitely had issues with the ending of the first movie, but that he says it wasn't a salary dispute. He says that he had creative differences or that he was like bumping up against them. I think there were versions of the script, like previous versions of the script that he didn't like. I don't remember, but basically Crispin says it's not a pay thing. I think Bob Gale says it's a pay thing. And Crispin Glover has said, and Crispin Glover is an eccentric character.
Yeah.
He's
he's the bad guy in Like Mike.
he's kicking things. Is he really? What the fuck? I love that movie growing up. I didn't realize that.
We should do a series of like it's like kids with magic powers. We'll do
Like
that,
Mike has a
Angels and-
sequel.
Does it really?
Street Ball.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it Like Mike 2 Street Ball, or
That's
is
right.
it just called Street Ball?
I think it's Like Mike 2 Street Ball.
Okay, I was gonna say I was balling if they just went. This one's Street Ball. Little Bow Wow is back. It's probably not Little Bow Wow.
Yeah, it's Like Mike 2 Street Ball. It's not Lil Bow Wow. Although Kel
Where
Mitchell
is he
of
now?
Keenan and Kel, isn't it?
Oh wow.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's a couple different things. More or less, things fall through. They have a falling out. But yeah, Glover does work for Zemeckis later, but he's not in this one at all. His photo is in this, and his
Yes.
voice is in this, which he sued them for.
Nice.
Did
he win?
Yes.
Nice.
I think from what I have heard,
I feel like that violates like a SAG just like rule or
I
something.
think
like
it was
that.
instituted from this movie.
Really? Okay, that's
I
what I
can't
was
say
also
100%,
wondering.
but
yeah.
I think this is the one because he was like, I'm not coming back, and they were like, right. They do make a creative choice that I think is evocative. That it's like, well, if the first movie is so much about George, the second movie is kind of about the absence of George, which I like that, I suppose, instead of just like he's still. Thematically, it doesn't feel like the movie is like flipping the finger to Crispin Glover, despite though he's dead. Like,
yeah, it's like that thing of like I think you end up, unfortunately, and these movies I think are still great. So this is not like a criticism because I think they're just dealing with the situation.
Yeah.
But by the time you get to 3, all of the adventure and everything, it's like you almost like we don't have time to like we never get to get back to like his relationship to George and his dad, like which is so
George is not a part of 3
he's not
anyway.
at all. Like he's essentially written out of the movies basically, but it's just a bummer because like they have such fun in the first movie together, and it is such an important thing. And then for this one, like you said, it is like this big like thematically like it's so important to the movie, but you never get to have the like, oh my god, Dad, you're back. Like it's just like
it's a
okay,
newspaper.
cool, you guys to go, I gotta go. And then but that's getting into 3, so we don't have to
but I mean they
get into that too much. But
they do they have an actor as the body double for him in 2015 and him in 1955.
Yep.
1955, 1985 as well. Like literally every time George McFly is on screen, it's
like
just a different
double basically.
But they do use his picture and they do use his voice. He did sue and he did win a lot of money.
That's cool.
Which listen,
I mean, it's a bummer.
They shouldn't have used his likeness without his permission. Just straight up, like if you're going to use your likeness for anything, you should have permission and get pay.
Yeah, you should
100%. But yeah, so he, I like where their head is at with it. I think probably to your point that like if George was more of a character as opposed to essentially a backdrop in this one,
he's a prop.
like I think that idea and the thematics of that would land harder. But it's because like it's nice to know that like he doesn't die, they save him, and there's still gravity there. But there's no catharsis.
You're sort of missing the catharsis by the end. It's kind of like they kind of have to breeze through it when it gets to that moment where it would probably happen.
It does. I think I said it in the last week's. I know I've referenced it on this podcast before. I can't remember which episode, but that it's like this movie is more of a movie that's just like about time travel.
It is,
and the intricacies of
100%
time
all
travel.
about time travel.
And then there's some ideas of like the absence of George, of like I suppose like stuff with Marty of like, I mean they start this because they realize that Marty does not have an arc in the first movie, so they institute a lot of stuff about like pride and ego and all this other stuff, and like Biff is kind of a counterpoint to that, of someone who's so drenched in his own ego, like
literally the like dark side of that.
Yes. So they do. There's stuff there, but it's not.
Marty sort of has an arc. He has the I can't be a rock star to becoming a rock star in the first one, but
that's
if that counts.
it's in the way that like, and we'll get in this with next week, but like it's the 80s kind of like simplified like teenager gets to play. You know what I mean? Like
he just gets his big moment.
It's a win as opposed.
It's a win. Yeah.
He hasn't like learned anything.
No.
He's just been given the opportunity. He's found himself in the opportunity that he did not have in the beginning, I suppose.
Yeah.
But still very fun, obviously.
Super fun.
And at that point when he's playing the guitar, that's just the movie like, fucking lighting a cigar and laying back and being like, play some music. Everybody's locked the fuck into this.
We're locked in. Let's go.
But yeah, do we want to get into the movie
Let's
a little
get
more
into the plot.
distinctly?
Yeah.
Or so we open with the end of the last movie.
Yes.
They have to recreate it.
Recreate it because
yes, because Elizabeth Shue has taken over.
Yes.
How do you feel about Elizabeth Shue taking over the role?
I don't like her as much as the original, but I am biased.
It's a very different energy.
It's a different energy. And this is not a slight against Elizabeth Shue. As a young boy, like that original Jennifer was Claudia Wells. Yes, that was a big crush for me. So it was like it's just like mostly it's like getting over my disappointment is difficult with that one.
My thing,
but they also like they don't give her a lot to do in this movie, so it's like hard to like. It's unfortunate for Elizabeth Shue because she's really great.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
She's amazing in like everything I've seen her in. The Saint.
Yeah. She's on the first season of The Boys. She's great in that.
Yep.
Obviously, Adventures in Babysitting.
Yep. I've never seen that one.
Don't fuck with her.
You don't.
She lets them know.
Don't. Yeah. But no, she's good. I think she does a good enough job with what she gets. I just feel like ultimately they're like, I think you brought this up last time. They're like, well, we stuck her in the time machine at the end of the last one, so we have to like.
They literally
figure
were
that
like,
out, and they're like, well, we don't actually want to deal with it, and it's kind of obvious they don't want to deal with her character.
Yes. I don't. As I've gotten
kind of like
older,
Chris Nolan typing out Dark Knight. Like, what do you mean Katie Holmes isn't coming back? Oh shit. Well,
yeah.
Bye bye.
It is like it very is
That is my recreation of him writing The Dark Knight.
fair. That's probably how it happened. He was like, didn't.
He's like, what happens? What happens? What does the Joker do?
Um,
He's not coming back? Oh, I know what's going to happen now.
but it is that thing where, like, I mean, when Doc
Boom.
is...
And 3, 2.
like, Marty has that moment with Doc in the car with Jennifer where he's like, why the hell did you bring her? And he's like, I don't know. She saw the car. I freaked out. Like, he kind of is... He doesn't... He's on
like,
the back foot with
is
it.
not thought through.
No, he literally is like, I don't know. I just brought her along because, like, I didn't want her to, like, freak out and ask questions. And it's that thing where it's like... when she's asking those questions about, like, oh, like, where do we get married? She's asking, like, very understandable questions if you found out that time travel was real and that this man has, like, knows your future.
Everything.
They literally just knock her out and she sends
I like the little sleepy device he has.
The sleepy device is
It's
funny.
like,
it is a funny little thing. And then, like, when,
and
Marty...
later when he's like, damn, I used most of it. It's like, it's not recharged.
I was like, all right. I see what you're doing, movie. It is like... like Marty's reaction when she gets knocked out, and he's like, "What the fuck was that?" Like he's like completely like thrown off his rhythm.
The first 15 minutes is him being like, "What?" He's like, "Future." He's like, "All right."
No, really, and like I love Elizabeth Shue. I think Claudia Wells is great in that role. It's one of those as I've gotten older that I'm like, I almost honestly don't have a preference because, and this is not a disregard to either actor, but like. Because I don't know the character, like I don't feel like
we don't get to know her well enough in the first movie to really understand what's missing.
Yeah, like they do goofier stuff with Jennifer with the like I'm old, I'm young, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
But also like Jennifer in the first movie, like doesn't really do anything. Like she doesn't have a moment to. We don't know if she's funny or not.
Yeah, we do.
she's like we don't know if that's her vibe in the first one.
No, she's there to be like so drop dead gorgeous. You're like, well, he has to get back to the future.
Yeah, it's just like she's like that's Marty's girlfriend. Like you're like, great, I get it. Like that he's 17. Those are the stakes.
It's the Penelope to his Odysseus.
Yes. I don't know that.
It's the Odyssey.
I know it's the Odyssey, but I don't know.
Matt Damon and
it's Anne Hathaway, right?
Yeah, Anne Hathaway.
Hell yeah. I can't wait. But yeah, it's like Jennifer is such a casualty of these movies, and it's such a bummer because she's like maybe one of the most important figures in Marty's life from how he describes.
It's like a missed opportunity not to have her more involved in the adventure, I guess. But I feel like they are like, no, this is like a Doc Marty.
Yeah. Which joint. I get it. That's them. It's a buddy movie. Like, I totally get it.
It totally works. So it's not like, again, it's not like it like the movie hurts. It's just like as someone where you're like, oh, but like, what is she gonna do? And it's like, oh, nothing. That's it.
It feels like when they were thinking of the sequel that and I might be wrong in this. I'm happy to eat my words on this, but like, that when they were concocting ideas for the sequel, that like it almost feels like they didn't even consider what it would be like to have Jennifer as like the third
wheel.
The third person of this and create a trio or whatever. That like when they sat down for Back to the Future 2, they were like, obviously we have to write Jennifer out of this. Like it feels like that was like the first thing they figured out was like he's from the future. He should just knock her out and then she'll just be asleep the whole movie.
Yeah. It's like she's actually just like, again, she's also kind of a prop where it's like, well, what is her thing? Oh, she's stuck somewhere. Now we have to go get her. Movie ensues. Like,
I mean, they literally leave her on a porch in an alternate nightmare timeline. And Marty, and they address it, but Marty being like, well, like, we can't just leave her. And Doc is like, don't worry, time will shift around her because she's...
I wrote a note. Doc is an exposition machine in this movie. Every scene is him being like, that's what you need to know. And you're just like, okay, hold on. This will be on the test.
Yeah, no, literally. Like, it is Doc, like, and they're picking it up from the first movie, too, that, like, Doc is there to give exposition, and they're smart enough that they cast Christopher Lloyd. Yeah. And he is able to make that shit sing. And then they give him stuff to do in 3, which is very, very, very fun. But yeah, like obviously we enter 2015, the far-flung future of 2015, which is now 10 years in the past. Yeah. How do you feel about this movie's version of the future?
I love this version of the 2015.
Maybe the most iconic?
It's iconic. It is. Like it's like I feel like all these jokes were like shorthands, and then when the actual year 2015 came back, that was all we talked about all year was just shit from Back to the Future Part 2. Like And like I think I'm sad we didn't get Jaws 19.
Yeah, directed by, I don't know if you saw Max
I did. I wrote it down.
Spielberg,
Max
his kid,
Spielberg.
with the tagline, "This time it's really, really personal," which is very funny.
Because when did Jaws: The Revenge come out?
Jaws: The
When did they
Revenge
officially kill that franchise? When did Michael Caine build that house? Have you heard that story?
I have heard that. I said that story to my dad.
I'll tell that story. I think I've done it on the podcast once before, but we probably had enough time for this to work again.
I will say,
but
real quick, before you say that story, Jaws: The Revenge, 1987, so 2 years.
87. Okay, so they're well aware. They're like, we're not doing any more of these.
Yeah.
I feel like this joke made it like you can't do anymore. Like they're mocking it now.
I mean, yeah, Jaws 19. Like,
but
it's like
there's a story because Michael Caine is in Jaws: The Revenge,
Yes,
correct? Yeah.
yes.
And they asked him after the movie like won a bunch of Razzies, like, have you seen it? What did you think? And Michael Caine was like, I haven't seen it, but I have seen the house that it built, and I love it. It's beautiful. Like, it's amazing.
I said that story to my dad, and that's maybe the hardest I've seen him laugh in my entire life.
I'm like, that's a baller response, just to be like, nope, I won't watch it. But you know what? I made bank.
Hey, valid.
Pay them bills.
Kane is one of those guys. He's always whipping out.
Yeah. Have you heard the story about
one-liners.
when he chooses a movie?
That's what I was thinking
you wanna
about.
tell it?
He said he reads the first page of the movie and he reads the last page of the movie, and if he's on both pages, he does the movie. Which is ironic because there are
A lot of movies where that's not true.
Several movies I could think of where that is not the case.
That was probably true when he was like younger and like coming into his like
Sure.
when he was like a leading man and stuff. I think once he started like being like Alfred and stuff, I feel like that was like I'll maybe I should read the whole thing.
Sure, fair. But yeah, so like I do think this 2015, it is like, I think what's fun about it and what I like, and I like both sides of this. There are the sides where people will do alternate future stuff where they're like, let's actually investigate what technologies might be available in the future. I think of like Logan, which is like very similar to our time, except they're like the little things of like trucks are automated.
Like self-driving car. That was like the most future thing in that movie.
Where it's like, due to like I'm grabbing the mic as I say this, due to capitalism and exploitation, we would probably do that. Considering staring at AI drive-thrus that I've had to go through recently.
Where?
Taco Bell.
No.
Yeah. Although I think they're stopping that because I saw someone, I don't know if it was a bug, but someone apparently ordered 18,000 waters. And so Taco Bell was like, fuck, we gotta look at it.
So someone rolled up and was like, 55 burgers, 55 cheeseburgers, 55 tater tots, 100 burgers, 100 milkshakes.
That says all that I need to say about all that stuff. But like, yeah, like they're trying to create a future that isn't too zany, that is too realistic. I get that, and I respect really out
there. But the energy behind every like piece of technology they came up with is like pretty on the money. In a weird way. Like, I mean, they're ultimately, I think, going to be off by about 10 years because I think a lot of the stuff that we were expecting or getting close to is like stuff we're getting now. Well, like again, the AI thing, like they have like the 80s cafe has like AI, like Michael Jackson and like Reagan, like taking
beef or pork, yeah.
Which I completely forgot about. I'm like, that is horrifying.
A lot of Reagan in there.
A lot of Reagan. What was the name of the Pepsi? It was like Pepsi Premium or something.
Like I don't remember. It is the bottle
Pepsi
is
Perfect. It was what it was in 2015. But the hoverboards, we had hoverboards, not birds. We sort of had hoverboards. I don't think that counts. But
we named like how I could look at this camera and call it a car. It's like sure it's a hoverboard,
it's an
because that's
scooter board, man.
We've made it. It's a Segway without a handle. But
the inventor that like walking up and ripping the whole top.
Yeah, it's literally that. That's why. That's
He's
probably
like,
why they
here's
called
your
it.
thing back, and they're like, no thanks.
I'm now just realizing that that's probably why they started to call it that, was that they were like, oh, it's like a Segway without the thing. It's like, right, it's like Back to the Future. He rips the hoverboard off. And
some guy was like, fuck you.
They're like, that's what we're going to call it, and everyone's going to get really excited.
Yeah.
I will say on the behind the scenes, and I'm not the first person to bring this up, with the hoverboards in regards to those, they had like a video where they said that hoverboards were real. They're like Stevens.
Oh, for this one?
For this one.
Yeah.
It was like Spielberg and Zemeckis saying, they were like, yeah, like, they have the technology, but like they didn't think it was consumer ready. So they left them all in a warehouse, and like they've been nice enough to like have us like on loan for a day or whatever. And I saw that at 4 years old. So I believed that.
Yeah.
You
pre-ordered?
I was like, well, where the fuck can I get them now? I was
like, how many payments in 1995? Mom, get the phone.
yeah, I was like, this movie came out, I don't know time yet fully, but I know it came out before I was born. Like, I was like, they must be available now.
When were you born?
I was born in 1998.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm born
89, about...
like 9 years after this movie.
Nice.
But it's that thing, yeah, where I was like, as a kid, I was like, holy shit, I guess hoverboards are real.
Yeah.
And to the movie's credit, the hoverboard effects are great.
They are. They're pretty fantastic.
The practical, like, there are certain things, like, when you see it, like, just, like, standing on its own in the end, you can see there's, like, a branch that's, like, underneath it that it's hovering above, which is very clear there's, like, a pole that, like, is, like, keeping it up.
Yeah. I will say the like, idea of it, like, I'm assuming magnets or whatever, they get that, like, reverse magnet push thing, like, that, like, little physics thing they're doing.
The
really
physics
fantastic.
of it are great. The question of it is interesting that it is like, how is it, if it's a magnet, what is it?
Yeah. Presumably the floors are all checked out,
everything
but then
is magnets
by the time
underneath.
you get to the third movie, it's like, well, so what are they on a magnet deposit?
Yeah, we're in 1885.
I have some serious questions about the location of Hill Valley when we get to next week.
Oh, very fair. I've thought about that my whole life.
We'll play a game next time.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, the movie, like, it lights the fuse, to quote Mission Impossible.
Yeah, this movie's very Mission Impossible. There's a lot of, we have an impossible task and we're running out of time to do it.
Yes, which is ironic considering they're in a time machine.
Yes.
But
it doesn't work half the time.
It's true. But like this movie, when it starts, it's like we're in the middle of an adventure. Like it's like it feels like you could have done like a 15-minute short film, and it would have ended with them going back to 1985, Biff not getting the almanac, and it's like, oh, fun little Saturday morning cartoon or whatever. Like that would be the animated series that they do eventually do in the future. But yeah, like I think
is Marty the main character in the show?
In this animated show, no, he's involved, but it follows Doc's kids. It's Jules and Vern, and then Doc traveling in the train.
Okay, interesting.
And Christopher Lloyd doesn't voice Doc, but he does do live action bookends for each episode.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's cool. They were doing a lot of that. Spielberg was like, okay, young Indy, let's get Harrison Ford, let's go.
Beetlejuice had an animated series. I think RoboCop had an animated series.
RoboCop did.
Throw a stone.
They should do another RoboCop TV series. I'd watch the fuck out of an anime-style RoboCop show. That'd be sick.
Of one.
Get the like Avatar, Last Airbender people.
There's a live action one I think they were flirting with. I don't know where it's at.
Interesting. Well, we'll add that to season 2's list.
Yes. But I mean, this whole opening.
Rules.
Fuck yeah. This whole opening is literally them just being like this is a sequel. We're doing the first movie again.
Yeah.
Like they do the first movie again a few times, but I think they twist it on its head in a way that I think is fun. I know there are some people that do not like either Back to the Future 2 and 3. I've heard
really?
I know Dan Harmon I watched a documentary about Back to the Future, and Dan Harmon in the documentary is like, that first movie's a masterpiece. Obviously, the other two are dog shit, but like the first one rules.
I don't think so. I don't think they're not nearly as good, they're so much fun.
I think they're great.
They're so much fun. I don't care.
It is that thing where it's like, yes, it's not as.
This is not a Matrix situation where we're like. I don't think they're bombing it that badly. Like in the grand scheme of things, you know.
I don't think they are. I really think two.
Nor do I think they bombed at all.
No, fair.
Let me
I think
rephrase
these
that
movies,
a little bit before y'all come at me in the comments.
I mean, people can go to my letterboxed and see what I rated these. They're not low ratings. I'll say that. But I think the energy. I still gotta read
the other one. I'll do it later.
Nice. We'll do it in between. Between recordings. But the energy of this, I think, is so like the movie is pretty propulsive, to use a word that I've used before on this podcast. Like, I mean, the whole imagining of the skateboard chase from the first one. Yeah, like Griff is like. Tom Wilson is
the goated, dude. He's so funny in every one of these movies.
I have like 7 different notes that are like, God, Tom Wilson.
And the different levels of insane person he's playing, like.
Well, like him.
When did you become the physical type?
Yeah, like I mean, they have fun with the like, with the future of it all. When Doc is like. He uses like what would be like just like a metaphor where you're like, yeah, he's got a few short circuits, and then the line continues of probably from his bionic implants. Like they kind of establish all that or whatever. And like Wilson is running with that in stride where like he's like glitching his face.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of stuff, he's like expressing like the left side of his mouth during a line. Like he is playing it not like as a robot, like he's not like doing a
No, but
RoboCop
he's
walk.
doing. I've got like cybernetic implants, like the cyborg thing of it all. Like
Yes, and I love it. I mean, the whole bit. I think them playing with like the future of it all, like the way he like lifts up. You know what I mean? Yeah,
like he's like a transformer.
and like you get the great bit of Michael J. Fox, like staring up. I think all that is great. I think it's a lot of fun. I think and they reference it with older Biff being like, "This all is so familiar" or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
McFly.
I get where people would be like, "Oh, we're just doing the original again," but I think that's kind of
it's kind of like it's like a good running joke in my opinion, but also this idea of like history repeating itself like over and over again until you can break the cycle. I feel like works really well thematically.
I agree with that. I also think it's the movie kind of being like it's almost offering you something familiar because it's about to literally go into an alternate timeline.
Yeah, it's about to do some really crazy things.
So it's like, oh, like you know how Back to the Future works, and it's like, well, guess what? Biff is basically going to grab the lore of this series
and he's going to twist it,
throw
on its
it
head.
around.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it works for me a little bit. It's not like it doesn't feel like a rehash. I feel
no, it's not. It's just more like a callback.
Yeah,
but it is like a because like for them it's all like. It's like you could do anything you want, I guess, with it all, but I feel like it's part of the DNA of these movies, and I can't be mad at that.
No, it's. I mean, like you said, like the history repeats itself. I think is the idea, or does history always repeat itself? Maybe is the way to question that because, and we'll get to it next week. That like whether or not history will unfold the way that it has been dictated. That they kind of stamp a message on in Back to the Future 3, not in a way that I'm not saying that condescendingly. Like, I think it works. I mean, I think you kind of have to if you're going to make two other ones. It's smart of them to do that, but it is like by the way, this is what these movies were all about. Like, is kind of how Back to the Future 3 ends. But yeah, I think, I mean, Griff's gang, excuse me, I think is all fun.
Do you like this gang better than the Billy Zane group from the 50s, or which is your favorite group that follows them? Because I like that it's like the only constant is Biff, Griff, and
Mad Dog.
Yeah, what's his first name? They just call him Mad Dog.
Buford Tannen.
Buford Tannen. Okay, I was like, did they do rhyming on that one? I can't remember.
No, that's Buford.
Yeah, it's Buford. That's dog,
which one do I like the most?
Yeah, which is your let's just do just the between the future and the past.
I think I like the 55.
Do you like the 15 gang, or do you like
more.
the 55? I like the 55 group more just because Billy Zane's part of it.
I kind of
I wrote their names down. Did you know their names?
Well, I know the one with the glasses called 3D.
Yeah, it's
I know that.
It's where is it? Did I write it on this one, or did I write it for 3? Where is it? Because I wrote down the actors.
Well, they come back in this. They show back up in
do
in the alternate 85 and in the 1955. I can look it up if you want.
I was gonna say no. I had
I've been
it, but
Googling like a fucking
well, I remember their
madman
names
on
on the top of
this
my head.
episode.
I'm just surprised that I don't see the note because I definitely wrote it. But no, it's Billy Zane is Match.
Oh, I just
It's
found them.
3D, and the third one's called Skinhead.
Yeah, I literally am staring at that right now. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I will say in the 2015, we've brought up Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit himself shows up in this movie. He has a cameo.
Where?
He's the old guy that put some money on the Cubbies. That
oh
guy.
my God, is that him?
That's Charles Fleischer, who plays
God,
Roger
so
Rabbit,
funny.
and on the set of Roger Rabbit wore a Roger Rabbit costume.
That is so funny.
And then is put in like massive prosthetic old age makeup, which is funny because it's not like that guy shows up in 1985.
No, it's like they're just doing it because they can.
I feel like Charles Fleischer.
Oh,
must
you know
have
what?
just
I
asked.
bet you he had maybe a scene
Like
that
a
they were
cut
supposed to
cameo?
do, and maybe it was cut, or maybe it's there, and we just have never noticed it.
Maybe.
But
Yeah, but he shows up for 2 seconds to bring up the MacGuffin, I guess, of this movie, which is the sports almanac.
Yes.
That there's a book that Marty picks up in the year 2015, which shows 50 years of statistics.
No, it was on the second page.
That's all right.
It's okay.
We got there.
We got there. My
but
handwriting's just that bad. I can't find things quickly.
That's okay. Mine's terrible.
We'll work on it.
Mine
It's a
is
future
that's
goal.
that's why I
My hands are
talk
woozy
into a
from the
microphone
time
as opposed
tunnel.
to write. Fair. But no, but the sports almanac being our kind of MacGuffin, it's kind of the thing that drives. It's the quest for that ultimately. Like saving George kind of becomes the emotional stakes in the end. But
well, it's like Heroes. You know, it's like save the cheerleader, save the world. Like
yeah, there's two levels.
Get the
to
almanac, save George McFly.
We have to destroy the almanac in order to save George.
Yes,
basically.
Yeah, just destroying it is enough to fix it all, which I think is a really cool plot device. I think it kind of makes the stakes very like specific.
I agree. I think it also, I mean, it makes sense. And, you know, there's that great moment where they're talking about the almanac where, like, you know, fucking Doc is like, I didn't invent the time machine for gambling. I invented it to explore where we're going, where we've been, blah, blah, and to answer the ultimate question of why. And then Marty's like, yeah, but what's wrong with making a little money on the side? Like, he's like, I don't really give a shit, like, kind of thing. I'm 17.
Like, I'm in it for the 17. Sex and money, Doc.
Yeah, he's just like, that's cool for you. Like, he's like, I found 50 years of winning games.
Yeah.
So I get why Marty is
If I was Marty, I would have done
it.
the Rogue Nation where I memorized a couple and then
that is, not terrible.
I'd be like, I don't need the whole book. I just need like one. Just like one good one. That's it. And then I'll just be smart with my money.
Fair. But yeah, so he obviously gets the almanac. Doc sees it, says like, this is the worst fucking idea you've ever had in your life.
The cops pick up Jennifer, take her back to the future house.
That's right. And there's that line, oh, we didn't even mention this. We need to. Maybe one of my favorite changes, one of my favorite for lack of a better term, retcons, is how they get rid of Christopher Lloyd's old age makeup.
Oh yeah, when he peels off the makeup.
We've obviously talked about it in the last episode. Like, so Christopher Lloyd, like Leah Thompson and Tom Wilson and all them, they put old age makeup on him for the 1985 timeline, and then they take it off so he's younger in 1955.
Yeah.
They have the 85 version of Doc in these movies, and they don't, either the filmmakers or Christopher Lloyd is like, I don't want to be in that makeup all the time for the whole shoot. So they decide that there's a future rejuvenation clinic that he says they changed his spleen.
Yeah, he said he got his face
colon
fixed, and then he got his spleen and colon replaced while he was there.
They say that he said that they added 40 years onto his life.
That's crazy.
And he was like, he's basically like, Marty, I didn't want to freak you out or have you not recognize me. And so he just on camera, Christopher Lloyd just tears off the old age makeup. And he does that great, like stretches his eyes. What do you think? Like all that stuff.
I know he's got such great eyes for acting.
He's one of the best actors. He's so fucking good.
But
like that's such a funny bit
because I'm like they didn't age like. He just looks old.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think the joke is that he almost doesn't look that different.
He doesn't. It's like Marty a double joke of like he felt like he needed to do this, which is such a funny character moment. Just on its own, but it's like obviously they were like, well, he was wearing old makeup, so we just want to do away with it. It'll save the budget, it'll save the makeup. Like, why not do it? But it's like funny because on camera it's like it's impossible to tell.
Marty's reaction is basically like, I'm happy, you're happy. It's kind of the way he's like, you look great, Doc.
Their friendship is so beautiful to me, especially by the time like 3 rolls around. But we'll talk more about that later.
No, I agree. Their friendship,
the like brotherhood of it all.
Yeah, which is funny because I mean he's an 80-year-old man.
I know, but they are sort of like bonded by this insane experience of time traveling. Like they literally have a secret that only they have.
I also think, I mean, Michael J. Fox is obviously not a 17-year-old. So like his maturity, it makes it a little, you don't think about it as much because
you don't.
Michael J. Fox is clearly an adult. But like, yeah, so I remembered that because the cops who were talking to Jennifer, they're like, it says she's 47, and they go, that's a hell of a facelift. And
I know, that's a good joke.
Like, given what happened with Doc, I mean, I mean, this is all very real.
Negligible, but like, damn, girl.
I also like the bit where Doc, where Marty's like, we got to go get her. And Doc is like, well, what do we say? That we're time travelers? They'll have us committed. And I'm like, even 30 years in the future, in this like zany,
we got
wacky
flying cars, and
Doc is still the only person to create time travel, which I think is fun.
Yeah,
which is probably best. I feel like there is probably some.
It'll just complicate it too much if someone else does it.
Yeah, where like time travel is commodified or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they have to save Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
Biff catches the DeLorean again, which he spotted
Yeah.
in 1985 in the beginning. When he's like, something's going on here,
Yeah.
or whatever, and they push in on him.
Yeah. When he's old or when he's young, waxing the car.
Both.
Yeah, because I was about to say, yeah, and you see, I mean, I'm like, oh, I see how they're connecting the dots here.
Well, it's funny when he sees it in 2015 because he's like excited about it. He's like, flying DeLorean. I haven't seen one of those since. Oh shit! Like he like clicks, and it's like, wait a second. Yeah, which is I mean, again, Wilson is kind of the MVP. They make a smart decision, but they're like, let's just put Tom Wilson in as much of this movie as we can.
He is. He's all over the movie.
It is, and yeah, he's playing, and Michael J. Fox is doing this as well.
Yeah, I guess
everyone's
Marty
playing
Jr.
different versions of themselves, but Tom Wilson and Michael J. Fox really get, I would say, the most canvas, I suppose.
Yeah.
To paint with.
Yeah. Well, they clearly were like, you guys are the most fun, so you're like, we're gonna let you guys have the most fun, like.
Yeah. Well, it's like. I mean, Marty, it's like, oh, we'll do we're having the McFly family. And they're just like, why don't we have Michael J. Fox play all of them? He makes some strong choices, and I like them. This movie is, and I don't say this as a criticism. Again, I love these movies. This movie is the most cartoonish of the three.
Yeah.
3 is not super cartoony, I don't think.
3 starts kind of cartoony, and then once they're in the Old West, it's not as cartoony as I thought it was going to be.
No, it's pretty.
Because I wrote a note because I was watching it this morning that I thought I was like, ooh, this one might be the most cartoony, and then it quickly is. Yeah. It's not. It's still got some moments.
It's got some moments,
but this one is the most
one is light, but it's pretty earnest. But yeah, Boing is pretty it's very Hanna-Barbera. It's just a lot of Bam Pow, Batman 66.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
dum 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 dum.
Yes.
Boom.
It's zany.
Ba-dum.
Like I was bringing up earlier. It's very zany. I mean the whole, and I've quoted this to you off mic all the time, but the mom, is that you? It's just they're having a lot of fun.
They're having a lot of fun.
I love seeing Michael J. Fox do all this. I think he's crushing it.
Mom, you really know how to make a dehydrated pizza.
Dude, I'm like, I threw my back out again. On the course.
I like when Marty Jr. First of all, I like that they're like, how do we make Marty Jr. just a little bit different? And they went, what if he was really wet?
Yeah, he's I had the same note. I was like, it's funny that his hair is just constantly sweaty.
Do you know that
greasy?
That one TikTok channel, or maybe it's a YouTube channel, they just do movie scenes, but they're wet?
No, I do not know about this.
I just want to shout those guys out. I'll put a link on the YouTube to their stuff because I just think they're really funny.
Okay.
But Connor and I were sending videos of us back and forth, but they're just do videos where they're just constantly wet and they're recreating scenes, and they did American Psycho. But really funny. Anyway, just reminded me of that.
Hell yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that.
I'm going to challenge them to do that scene, but where everyone's wet, not just Marty Jr.
There we go.
But I like when he comes into the house, he's like, all right, put some TV on, and he's like, channels 18, 300, 212.
He's got the glasses.
And then he puts the goggles on and he's sitting down.
He plays such a fucking loser as Marty McFly Jr.
I like the idea that
so well.
The dweeb skips a generation.
Yeah, Marty is. I mean, it's such an obvious, and I say that not as a negative. It's such a clear direction that it's Marty McFly is one of the ultimate cool kids or whatever, without being too high status.
No, he's not. He's got the I'm starting low because people don't respect me kind of thing.
Yeah, but he's such a riding the skateboard off the back of the car, all that stuff. That the second one, they're like, well, what if his son was
was George
the meekest? He's worse than George, I would say.
Yeah, probably.
George is a nerd, but George is earnest. But Marty McFly Jr. seems like a piece of shit.
Yeah, he just genuinely he's not only
is
he got no spine, he's dumb.
Well, even there's the moment where when they're talking, he's when Doc is we have to take you to 2015, and he goes. Marty goes, what do we become, assholes or something? And Doc has that look, and I don't know how that you can interpret that, but my interpretation of that is, well, not you guys. It's kind of.
I know his kids are just kind of spoiled. I mean, his daughter seems
his daughter
actually level-headed,
seems totally chill.
But again, it's kind of the Jennifer thing. We don't get to see enough of her to really make heads or tails of that, but. She comes down the stairs, she answers the door. She's like, "Oh, hey, you're here."
Yeah.
She seems happy to help grandma set up the pizza or whatever.
There's
she seems the better of the two kids.
They reference the view screen.
Actually, she definitely is the best of the kids because she gets arrested trying to bust Marty Jr. out of jail.
That's right. Good on her.
So she has a good heart. She's not bright.
She wants to save her
doing that,
brother.
but yeah, she wants to save her brother. Can't fault her for that.
Yeah. But she, they fiddle with the little like pull down view screen or whatever. And Lorraine, which by the way, Leah Thompson does an incredible old woman voice.
She does. Whenever she's doing like her like 3 stages of like I'm old, like she's so good in every like because like obviously in the first movie we get to see her at like 40,
like
40s, mid 40s, probably
47 and 17,
mid to late 40s, and
Similar
then we see
to
her
this one.
in her like actual age and her prime and stuff, and then she's a good play the grandma.
Yes,
but it's like great to see that like the it getting dialed up.
No, it is, and I bring up Lorraine to bring up that she mentions why the view screen is broken, which happens earlier in the movie, but they say that the repairman called Marty a chicken.
I'm like, what was the context for that?
I have no idea, but that Marty threw him out. They can't get someone else to fix it. This is where I want to ask the question: how do you feel about the retcon, for lack of a better word, of Marty has this Achilles heel that if he is called a chicken,
yeah,
he like winter soldiers. He like loses all sense of coherent thought.
I kind of like it because I like the payoff in the third movie, I guess. But it's kind of like for an arc, kind of the like, it's just a little silly in the grand scheme of things. Like, I like that they've set it up as a thing, and there is a little bit of like a precedent for it in the first movie.
Yes.
But also, it's like in the first movie, like the big thing seemingly is that he can't find the courage to get on stage. And it's like, well, like if quite literally anyone from his band just said, "Come on, Marty, were you being chicken?" He would have been on stage fucking like doing that thing. So it's like, I don't know.
It's just that he's kind of a hothead, I think. Like
it is. He's just kind of a hothead.
He's
it's
not
like,
an asshole.
I like it for this movie because it ends up like creating like other like it helps create stakes for the movie, I guess.
Sure.
But it is like,
I think it's the fixation on the word.
Yeah, but it's like also it's like in this movie it's like chicken, and obviously like the moment with Needles in his present in 1985, it's chicken. But then when he goes to 3, it's like yella,
It is yella.
Any version of coward is enough to like trigger him.
Yeah,
I guess. But it is kind of like, come on, Marty, grow up.
It is. Well, because it's like, it's yella and it's coward in 3. They say it, Needle says it again. And it's like, it is. I like the idea that Marty needs to be humbled, I guess, a little bit. That he needs to not be as impulsive, because he is a very. I mean, for the first one, he's a very reactionary character. So like, I understand.
Master!
Yeah, like I understand where that river runs. Like, I get that, but I do agree. I think it is a little. It's weird that it's like you just have to call him a coward and he becomes.
That is some like Yosemite Sam, like
his eyes go dark. Like he just fucking like
he's like Bruce and Nemo.
Yeah, well, it's like I said, Winter Soldier. Like he literally like shuts off and is like, well, now I just have to confront whoever this is.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you don't think I can do it? And it's like it's kind of a silly Achilles heel in the grand scheme of things, but I like its function.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't really hate it as a writing choice, but like
Lorraine says it too, where she's like, your father, every time someone calls him a chicken, he has to fight him. And it's like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
I feel like there is a moment in the first movie where someone like accuses him of being cowardly and he like has like a moment, but something like distracts it, I feel like, but I can't remember what it is.
There's some stuff. I want to say it's in the diner, I want to say, where there's a bit where they bring it up or whatever. But like it is there's no.
It's not the same thing. Whatever.
There's no moment.
Whatever it is, it feels. I think whatever that moment is, it's a lot more like nuanced. I guess
it's not chicken record scratch. All eyes dart to Marty, and Marty like slowly turns, and there's steam coming out of his ears.
Yeah, and he goes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but so basically, Marty is fueled by this need to show people that he is tough.
Yeah.
And in doing that, it has fucked up his future.
Yeah.
That it is interesting that Doc, because he's like, you don't want to know too much about your own future. That Doc presumably knows what happens to Marty, but only, he's like, your kid goes to jail. We have to stop that.
But like, presumably he's like, well, once I drop him off, I can like warn him about that thing. And then like,
maybe, but even then with Jenna, like he like doesn't want. He's like, don't see yourself, don't talk to yourself, avoid yourself at all costs.
I know. Well, it's like funny that he does this whole thing to like go to the future and like save his son and all that and but like presumably had he just like stopped Marty from like just warned him about the chicken incident that will happen in 1985, like his kids would have good enough heads to not end up in that situation.
It's one of those, and this is one of those semantics we can get into this all
it is
day
that thing
kind
of like,
thing.
but they're like, we have to go to the future, we have to do something. What is it? So it's like obviously
it's like
they can't do that. But
I was thinking about it in 3, where it's like, why don't you just like go somewhere else? Like if Biff is gonna kill him, why don't you just leave Hill Valley? He can't track you.
Yeah,
like it's one of those, but it's like
presumably
if we don't,
he'll be a bitch to your dad his entire life.
it's like the Flash thing where people are like, the Flash would take that guy out in 2 seconds, and it's like, yeah, but then you have no movie.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So you don't want a movie, is what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't like watching things. I just like knowing that violence occurred.
Yeah, it's like
you're like, well, that's not interesting. That's not why we do this.
It's one of those things where it's like the movie has to movie, so I get it.
Yeah, movie's got a movie.
Movie's got a movie.
The official slogan of the podcast.
Of the podcast.
Movie got a movie.
A movie's got a movie.
So we're gonna change the intro.
That's pretty good. We'll do it for season 2.
Write that down. But okay, so we're at the house.
We learn that.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. We have Needles calls.
Yeah.
It interrupts the dinner.
Yep. Another line that I quote to you all the time is that I don't even know if I should do it at this point.
No, do it.
But
I don't even do it. Do it for the people at home. Do it for the people on their long commute.
It's that
they need this.
Dave and I, every time we're hanging out or whatever, and I will. It's probably the one that I quote the most is the fucking "nobody calls me chicken needles, nobody needles," like all that. Like it's literally
nobody needles.
It's that like
is he start smoking cigarettes somewhere after the first movie?
It kind of is like that he's just kind of that Marty is washed up and that he's working at a company that he hates. I don't know what the company does, but it's some company that he hates. Needles has conned him into like a scheme that basically will frame him.
Yeah.
And Marty is like very clear. Needles is a guy that is obviously the most do not trust
First
this
of all,
man.
his name is Needles.
Yes, never.
My favorite part is when you see him in the third movie and you're like, why would you knew what that man used to look like and it was worse.
It is that and Flea is doing such a great job of just being,
oh my god, it's Flea. Duh.
It's Flea.
Oh my god.
like him just being like,
what did
hey,
he do
McFly.
recently? He has a cameo in something where he's himself.
He is.
Or was he in another movie? Did we do it on the pod? What's the other thing that he did that like?
Well, he's in Baby Driver apparently.
He's in Baby Driver? Where? He's one of the heist guys.
His last credit is I'm trying to see. Oh, he's in Inside Out 2. He's in Babylon. He's in Obi-Wan Kenobi for 2 episodes.
Oh, I think that might be what I'm thinking of.
Queen and Slim, Toy Story 4.
I did not realize he worked so much. He was in The Big Lebowski. I didn't realize he was one of the
He
nihilists.
is. He's one of the nihilists, yeah.
Oh, my God. Flea, my God, your career is insane.
Yeah, he's good.
Dude's in really good movies.
He is good.
I don't really love Obi-Wan, but Baby Driver,
no, he has
the hell Inside Out. What are you doing?
He acts and he is very clear. Needles is clearly a guy that you just should not have any conversations with.
No.
And
oh my god, that's right. He's also Donnie from the Wild Thornberrys.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Fuck yeah.
I would take him in a live action version, just doing that.
I'm on board. I mean, hey, listen, we'll find out. I'm sure. I think a Wild Thornberrys movie again, a live action or whatever, is probably around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Needles calls him a chicken.
Yep.
Gets
him fired.
Marty and gets him fired. You get the facts. There's that whole the you're fired thing. Jennifer holds on to it. This fax is the closest thing to a character arc for Jennifer. Is that she has a piece of paper.
It's more like a plot interaction.
Yeah, just an
moment of plot for
acknowledgement
her.
of being in the movie. And then Lorraine comes in and says, Marty, what is this? And he's like, oh, it's a joke, Fax, Mom. Just a joke.
Needles and I were joking. Oh, we glossed past Elijah Wood as a boy at arcade system.
Yes, with his little tin
baby toy.
With his colander hat or whatever. It's got holes in the.
Yeah.
You have to use your hands. That's so good. Such a fun
I will
joke.
say, I like the idea that baby toys are more rudimental, and I imagine that is so they can develop brain skills.
Well, I will say,
I would like to think that they have laws or rules kids can't play with certain toys because they need to develop brain function.
Fair. I mean, hey.
And in order to prevent iPad kid syndrome.
It didn't work.
It didn't work because the kids are I don't want to play with that. By Elijah Wood's presumably 7-year-old antics, it's too late.
Yes. But no, so
I bet they tried.
we get through kind of all that stuff.
Yeah. Actually, can I, before we move on from the house, I will say, and I know why they can't do it because you have to deal with the like sciencey bits of it. But like, what would have happened had old Marty seen that? Would he have been like, "Oh my God, I remember what happens"?
If he had seen,
because presumably the only reason this timeline can occur, right? Not this might break some brains, but presumably the only reason this can happen, right, at this point, is actually this might break the movie.
What do you think?
The only way for this to occur is that Marty has to go back to 1985 and live his life. So he has to come back from this adventure. But this is, so actually all of this happened, this doesn't break the movie because Biff gets the almanac and that's where everything changes.
Yeah.
So he hasn't changed it yet.
Time is a linear line.
But okay, so never mind.
series.
This doesn't break this actually works because they have this precedent for this.
Yes.
But he has to go back. But there's like that missed opportunity of what happens when old Marty sees young Marty.
Yeah, that they're constantly getting
like,
new memories.
Because presumably he would have remembered this adventure and he would have been like, yeah, I don't know where she... Like, there could have been a moment where he's like, he helps them.
My assumption is that maybe the almanac is a new inclusion. That there's a version where they go back, they say, or I guess they wouldn't say...
He would have had it, because like the idea, right, it only works if Doc takes the almanac, Biff hasn't taken it to the past yet, and they grab Jennifer, go home.
I guess,
and then that's the end of their adventure, presumably before Biff changes it.
Well, I guess hypothetically,
because he has to go through it all and forget that this is the day that all went down, and he has to because presumably Marty didn't forget.
Well, actually, I don't think the adventure. The whole thing I think is that the adventure wouldn't have happened, because time I think is a line, like it is completely linear, and you can kind of bounce around it. So Doc drops Marty off back in 1985 at the end of the first one. He goes to 2015.
Yeah.
He sees the future of Marty Jr. being in prison.
Yes.
Right. So presumably from that point, Marty has lived his life.
Yeah, which works.
And that Marty Jr. has gone to prison. Doc sees that happen and goes, "Oh shit, Marty Jr. can't go to prison." Goes back to the exact moment he left.
Starts a branch timeline
and then
by taking Marty and Jennifer to the future. Yeah, but that means that for that, in order to continue, right? They have to, after they get Jennifer, they have to go back to 1985 still. I know that their whole adventure kicks off with the rest of 2, where they go back to the biffified thing. But it's just funny because before he has changed it, that means there has to be a version where Marty comes back.
What I'm saying is that I think that the timeline is Marty doesn't go on that adventure at all.
Yeah, but because he's now pulling Marty out of 1985.
Is Marty now?
He has to take him back because otherwise there's no Marty. He would disappear from 1985. They wouldn't have a family. Jennifer also has been removed from that timeline, so there's this timeline can only exist assuming they come back.
I'm gonna, and I know Avengers Endgame says this is a bunch of bullshit. But I'm going to use Avengers Endgame rules for this. Which is I understand it, where it's if you go, nothing can be affected. These basically they're all trapped in amber.
But they essentially they go back. It's just that at some point Marty forgets what day it is and is not planning to keep clear while all this happens.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's like any time travel movie where you gotta.
Yeah.
I mean, when Doc is explaining the alternate timeline and he gives the one branch, in reality, there's several. The new 1985 that Marty is in is is technically a branch.
True.
From the original.
These are all
timeline.
parallel universes.
Yeah. But so they go through all this house stuff. Jennifer sees herself. I'm old, I'm young.
Yeah.
Passes out again.
Yeah.
Doc does have a funny line where he's explaining that it's they could meet each other, freak out, pass out. That could be it. Or the entire space-time continuum would be destroyed.
Incinerate, yeah.
Don't worry, that's just worst case scenario. More realistically, it probably would just happen just to our galaxy, is what he says. And Marty's like, great, good stuff.
He's like,
that
that's
makes
good
me feel
to know.
better. Yeah. But so while they're doing all this stuff in the house, older Biff goes back to 1955.
Yep.
Drops off the almanac.
Yep.
They go, great, we've got Jennifer, we fixed your son, blah, blah, blah. Let's go home.
Mm-hmm.
They drop Jennifer off on her porch. She'll wake up thinking it was all a
When
dream.
did they have these bars?
Yeah, Marty references the bars on the windows. And then he gets dropped off at his house, sees a lock on the gate, does not remember that, hops the fence, jumps into his bedroom door, and is surprised that an entirely new family occupies that space.
That is probably for that family one of the most terrifying moments of their lives.
Yes. But he finds out that that the world has changed.
Yeah.
He thinks he's in a different year.
Yep.
Runs into Strickland in pajamas and a bulletproof vest.
You got the strap, dude.
Fucking,
Strickland don't mess around.
It is I'm glad they find places to drop, characters like Strickland.
Okay,
and stuff.
Do you think he's gotten involved in some kind of weird gang situation, or do you think he just quite literally these are just kids that don't like him and beef with him constantly?
I think it's just kids who don't like him.
Okay, cool. Which makes the most sense. But I was like, could you imagine if he was having like a Breaking Bad level, like the school burned down, I lost my job, I have to provide, like, and he's like off doing like crazy mobster level shit with the existing gangs that have cropped up.
I mean, I could also see like, Biff could also maybe be telling some people that they should swing by, because he fucking hated Strickland.
That's true. That's true.
Which the movie doesn't insinuate anything like that. I'm not saying that it does, but it's like it's a nightmare.
You know what it is? It's
realm.
probably the real estate scam because the family that is now in
Marty's house.
Like they're like, and you tell so and so I won't sell to them. Like, I think the gangs are probably being hired to like make the neighborhood unlivable so that people will move, so they can buy up the land.
I mean, again, like with the Nixon,
there's probably a Western level land scheme happening here.
That could very well be the case. I mean, with the Nixon thing, it's like it seems like the whole world is a mess. Partially because it seems like Biff was able to get gambling legalized.
Yep,
is kind of the whole thing, right?
Presumably, thank God for that museum that's there.
Yes, the Exposition Museum.
The Museum of Exposition.
It is funny, and it is again like talking. I know I said Biff is a guy drenched in ego. That it's like he would have a museum to himself in the hotel that he lives in and owns. And
Walt Disney did it.
That's true. That is, I mean, there. We gotta.
We can keep moving. We can keep moving.
We gotta say it. We got Bob Gale and Bob Zemeckis both said that 85 alt Biff is based on Donald Trump.
Yep.
They've said that. They've said that for years.
They did. They tried to warn us.
They literally were like, we were thinking, who's the most like egregious rich man, gross type in the world? Donald J. Trump.
Yep.
And now he's
whose
our
vanity
president
would
again.
Destroy a nation.
Yes. A few times.
Hypothetically, right?
It's like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just going to say, like, it is so deeply obvious.
It is.
That, and Biff is characterized as, and accurate. Biff, he has reached his wealth by cheating at gambling, creating a toxic waste business, and buying up all the land and basically stealing wealth and like basically the resources of Hill Valley. Like, I'm sorry.
That's
it's that thing.
Not a good recipe. I think.
I will quote the blank check podcast that we talked about before, where it's that thing where like people will be like, oh, like The Force Awakens like is anti-Trump because it's like characterizing the First Order in this way or whatever. And it's like, hey, newsflash.
Yep.
The First Order is the Empire. They've always been characterized that way.
Yep.
And if you are now associating your viewpoint with the Empire, or if you're associating this person with, iconic film villain and bully, Biff Tannen.
Maybe think just like 2 more steps.
Let's go 4 seconds longer in that assumption.
Just a little longer.
in that test against yourself, I suppose. Like, I got nothing to say on that. Like, he's
take a moment, reassess your moral compass, maybe, and then proceed to have more thoughts.
The writers created a bully in the first film. They thought, what would that bully be like if he was successful? And they said Donald Trump.
Yep.
So, that's just fact.
We're just
reporting
what it is. What we watched.
Just what it is. A movie that came out 40 years ago almost.
Actually, yes, because it's this year, actually right around the time we were celebrating, or not celebrating, but this episode comes out.
That's right.
It's coming back to theaters.
Yes.
So
wanna
I
try to
don't
go
know
see
the
that.
dates, but we should.
It's
we
October
should go see it.
31st.
But yeah, and we planned this not realizing that it's a big anniversary.
We got
so
some Halloween stuff.
Happy anniversary, Back to the Future.
But yeah, so Marty goes, he sees I realized he runs into Biff's friends.
Yeah.
I had been hearing, I don't remember what movie referenced The Easy Way. There was a movie recently that referenced that that I watched, and I was racking my brain trying to know where, because I was like, I know that's from a movie. I cannot remember the movie. And I was like watching all these movies thinking that maybe it's from this, all this other stuff. And then watching Back to the Future 2, I was like, fuck, they're referencing Back to the Future 2.
Yeah. What was the movie you watched?
I don't remember. Or I don't remember what it was. It was something that I watched, and I heard them say the easy
Feels
way.
like something they would reference in like Family Guy.
It could
it's
be.
like, let's go for the nichest reference we can from Back to the Future 2.
Like, well, they've done that a couple times.
Yeah.
But
Western Union.
yeah, like it's. But so Marty wakes up in the penthouse.
Yep.
I'm about to sneeze.
Bless you. Bless you.
We can cut that out.
I said bless you so perfectly though.
You did. Thank you for that. Marty wakes up.
Yep.
And
you get her classic. Mom's waking him up.
yeah, he's got to stop making comments about his mom.
He does.
I really don't like that when he does it.
Yep.
It's really weird and gross.
Yep.
Just knock it off.
Knock it off.
But Leah Thompson again plays the. She does it in the first one with the where she's with her. It's the original McFly's. She plays the gravity of this situation.
It's so dark.
It's
This
really
timeline
sad of this
is
woman
so
that
bleak.
has lost her children. Her husband is dead.
Yeah,
she's
basically
trapped.
financially blackmailed into being in this marriage.
Yes.
Horrible existence. This is a terrible timeline.
Yeah, and 5 minutes ago is nobody calls me chicken.
I know, right? One
but
minute you're making dehydrated pizzas. Next minute you're marrying a wannabe rapist.
exactly. She does make apparently very good dehydrated pizza. It's a very funny joke. But yeah, we learned that Marty is supposed to be in Switzerland. That he's like been shipped
I know.
off to
I was
boarding
thinking.
school.
I was like, so wait, what's up with Marty? And then I was like, oh, that's why he wouldn't be in this adventure because there's a Marty presumably still in Switzerland in this
Yeah.
timeline
that
that never met Doc, never did any time traveling.
Nope. Or I guess he did, but Doc's been committed because the idea I think they
because the almanac. Well, no, because Biff gets the almanac, so he would have changed everything before that. So I mean, it's not impossible for Marty to have met Doc.
Yeah, because George and
By then, because George
Lorraine still get
George still
together
have to have
and
him
kids
because he exists. But I would presume that that version of Marty in that branch timeline never got to do any time traveling.
Probably. Well, they say because they say Doc Brown's been committed.
Yeah,
that he's in an institution.
Yeah, quack scientist and stuff like that.
Which I'm assuming Biff had something to do with.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so Marty is this version of Marty's out of the picture. Basically,
which we never see him. This is a Marty branch timeline that's just off somewhere.
Don't worry about him.
He's lighting a rug on fire somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And then he gets shipped off to another boarding school.
It's just that, but it's like the Batman Forever, like him going through the like stuff where he's like, my father was shot. He was like lighting the rug.
Yeah.
When the doors burst open, the pearls rip.
True. But yeah, like I think all this stuff is I really like all the alternate.
I mean, it's terrifying and
really
bleak
dark,
and upsetting,
yeah.
but it's I think really good choices. I think it makes the stakes really high.
Well, I mean, obviously we get the revelation that George has passed and that he was killed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Doc gives the very clear example of just we're in an alternate timeline, and Marty's like, well, why don't we just go to 2015 and get the book back? And he's like, motherfucker, if we go in the future, it's the future of this timeline.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, we have to go back.
We have to go back to the past so that we can get back to our future.
And they have the great moment where he's like, we just have to figure out exactly when Biff found the book. And he said, I'll ask him.
Yeah,
we get
great moment.
Standoff between the two.
Yeah, he's watching The Good, the Bad, or he's watching Fistful of Dollars specifically. It's a bulletproof vest.
There's a lot of like the setup for
Good
stuff
flip,
that will happen to 3. Which makes sense because originally the Old West stuff was in Back to the Future 2.
Was it really?
Yes, it was like it was like a 300-page script or something, and Spielberg read it and was like, "You can't do all this." He was like, I think he was apparently the one that was like, save the Western stuff for 3.
Yeah.
And they were like,
Okay.
oh.
So that's good advice from him.
Originally, it was...
Spielberg has great advice. Like, every time I hear, like, a story of, like, a filmmaker receiving advice from him, because he's usually a producer or something.
Yeah.
It's usually, like, the most, like, important advice, like, makes whatever that movie is, like, 30% better.
Yeah, it was 2015, alt 1985, back to 1955, then to the Old West.
Wow.
And he was like, don't do that. Which is smart, especially because now the
This
movie
movie already has
chunks,
kind of a lot going
acts.
on, you know. This movie feels like, from a like viewing perspective, it basically has a 3-act structure, but because of the time travel, it doesn't feel like it has one.
No, well,
does that make sense? Or is that just like a me thing?
I feel like it does because they're literally all different time periods.
Yeah,
like it's so like the first chunk, second chunk, third chunk. I do think. Sometimes it feels a little not disjointed, but they feel almost vignettes.
They do.
Of each other.
Very like.
I think when they bring the hoverboard back in 1955, that it's like them trying to link back to stuff that happened in the beginning.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like there's like physical objects, Biff's matchbook, which Marty grabs in this scene.
Yeah, good little device to have.
Yes,
to see
very
it change
good
at the end.
and poetic that. The match is what burns the book. That Biff's match is what burns the book.
Burn it before changing. That's cool.
Marty does the frisbee. They set that up.
They did. I was gonna say, dude, he's got some Captain America level skills by 3.
Yes. And Biff explains the whole story. He got a 1955. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. So then Marty, he does his big escape. Then he goes back to 1955.
I love the bit as they're getting back to 1955. Well, Biff acknowledges that he killed George. 2 McFlies with the same gun is what he says. Yeah. And Marty sees the DeLorean, and when he jumps off the side of the building, Biff's reaction of like shock, of like what the fuck, and then his like laugh is like it's
a good scene,
great moment.
It's a great scene.
And when Marty flies back up, hits him. And Marty goes, "You're never gonna believe this. We got to go back to 1955." And Doc goes, "I don't believe it." And then the music hits.
Yeah,
I was like, "Dude, best movies in the world." Like
best movie in the world. Score. I think it's because of this that scene is so like it feels so climactic. It's weird because it's actually like the inciting incident.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways, like it's like, but it's like almost halfway through the movie, so it's like that weird thing of like to me, this movie is kind of like
it feels like
we've second
beat
half,
Biff.
I guess. Yeah, it kind of feels like we got to go back, but it's like that. We're not done.
Yeah,
and then go back. So it's like it does have a 3-act structure, and it's not at all criticism. It's just my like observation of how like this movie plays in my head is that it has like a part like a first half, second half situation more. I guess.
Get that. But yeah, we go to 1955.
He's got to dress inconspicuously.
Yeah, and so he puts on a leather jacket and a hat and some sunglasses.
Yeah.
Little guy in shades and not a coat but a jacket.
Not a coat, but a jacket.
This scene
is Biff the big dude in a coat? I don't think he wears a big coat in this movie.
He wears a robe.
Big guy in a robe.
But does he deserve to be in that club? He doesn't deserve
it. He's too shitty.
No. You know who's tall, though? Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd and he does have a big coat.
He's got a trench coat.
He does. Comparatively, are they the titular big guy in a coat and little guy in shades?
That may be
They're like a definitive duo. Like
that may be what started this all for me.
Did we somehow unlock the origins of the big dude and the little dude?
They're like founding fathers of the club, kind of a little bit. I think,
like, nobody calls me little.
Yeah, exactly. But we have the whole.
We'll start another club that's just needles.
That's
just anything Flea shows up in.
It's just a club for all of Flea's film roles.
It's just his filmography.
I'm into that.
Hanging out with each other, SNL style.
That's called the Flea Circus.
PT Flea from Bug's Life, gets honorary member.
But yeah, so we go back to 1955.
But it was a mix-up. His invitation ended up in his mail, but they were like, "He's so chill. We're just gonna let him be part of the club."
Yeah, just come on in.
Like, your name is Flea. You belong here.
We see
that's such a stupid bit.
No, it's a good bit. I like it. We're on the Flea Circus. If we spot him in a movie on this
your
series,
Flea Circus, great. My edition, terrible.
No, I'm good. But so
terrible, just stupid.
No, my jokes are not. I have talked about just tall people in jackets.
Yeah.
And that's like a defining point of my personality on this show. So you're fine. But we go back to 1955. We get to see like Biff picking up the car after it's been cleaned. And he
which is like $300 to fix that is crazy money in 1955.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, I don't know what the conversion rate would be, but that'd probably be like 30,000. Like, you just buy a new car at that point if
It's
that was
a
how much
lot of
damage
money.
it was. Like,
It's crazy.
you would just be like, no, that's more than a down payment. Like, how much does this car mean to you?
Yeah. But
I'm
no,
gonna
we
do the
see
math on that actually.
we see Lorraine. She shows back up. They have this interaction. You know, one day you're going to be my wife. All this other stuff. I think, and I brought this up, I think last week, and I double checked with my mom to clear things up. So I think I mentioned last week that my mom was an extra in this movie. That she was a background actor in this movie. Something that I was told as a kid.
Yeah.
And like 2 weeks ago, in anticipation for this episode, I was having dinner with my family and we were talking about movies and I remembered that and I said, hey, like, was that just something that, like, was that bullshit? Like, were you actually a background actor in Back to the Future 2? And she said, yeah, I was. And I said, oh, I didn't know if, like, you just said that because you were a background actor in other things and you knew that I love Back to the Future. She's like, no, I didn't lie about that. Why would I lie about that? And I was like, I don't know. It seemed crazy because those movies are so influential for me. And she said she was in Back to the Future 2. I said, where were you? Were you in like the future, the 1985 stuff? And she said, I was in the 50s. And I said, oh, you were in the 50s. She's like, yeah, I was in the town square.
That's fun.
And
That's
I was
so
like,
cool.
oh shit. I think it's this scene where where she's picking up the dress and he's like, I'm going to Calvin
I was gonna
Klein.
say, yeah.
There, I tried to spot where my mom might be. She told me she was sitting on a bench. Is what she said. That she was in that is in the Hill Valley Town Square.
Yeah.
I did see someone walk by on the sidewalk that I thought looked like my mom. Because I've seen her other background work from when she was on like Doogie Howser and all this other stuff. So I think I saw her.
Yeah.
I can't say for certain, but that is what she says she is. And that's the only scene in the movie that I can think of that has all of the attributes that she described. And I double checked. I said, Back to the Future 2, right? She said, yeah, the second one. So she's somewhere in there.
Hey. This is that kicks off where you get trapped in that year when they're making the movie and you're watching them film the movie.
It's me like when
watching your mom being extra in the movie.
Yeah,
and then you find out Michael J. Fox is your dad.
I'm like, this is heavy, man.
You're like, no, Niddles, no.
But yeah, so I think that's where my mom is in the movie.
That's super fun. I was also going to say $300 in 1955 money today would be the equivalent of $3,616.
Yeah, damn.
And 21 cents. So yeah, you'd probably just put a down payment on a new car at that point.
I guess, yeah, depending on what the car is and how old it is and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I'd be like, oh, it's a classic car, but it's 1955, so that's the standard.
It's just the car.
Probably.
But
yeah, he's not overreacting with that. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, he definitely deserves it.
Oh, yeah, 100% deserves it.
It is a lot of money.
He doesn't deserve the car. They shouldn't have repaired it. They should have been like, you're an asshole. We're not fixing your car.
You're the villain of this movie, so you don't get a car.
Like, what?
Yeah, he was like, frick. I don't know why that made me think of Raph. But yeah, so Marty goes to hop in Biff's car. We do the whole
salty spittoon. How tough are you?
There are a couple moments where he's like, where he'll yell and it just sounds like his characters that he does in SpongeBob.
I know.
But we see the scene with older Biff and 50s Biff. Marty gets trapped in the garage. Doc goes looking for him.
Misses him by like 2 seconds.
Literally 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And I love the bit that Doc's hat still has the price tag on it. I think it's funny. It's like flying in the wind. And we go back to
the dance.
Enchantment Under the Sea dance.
We get to see the first movie from a different angle.
Yeah, a couple of different angles. This is, again, like I said at the beginning of the episode, like this is the thing for me that when I was watching this movie as a kid, I was like, holy shit, like movies are magic.
Yeah, they are.
Because the recreation of this is perfect.
It's great, yeah.
Granted, all the sets get destroyed. Like they have to rebuild all this shit and like they were like, we had to find the background actors that like we used.
That's crazy.
And like bring them back and all this other stuff.
Because the first one's 85 and this is 89. So like
4 years later.
Wow. So yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Some of those people might not be alive.
It is like, I mean, that's a huge undertaking to literally go back and do, and kind of dangerous to go back in terms of like plot wise to be like,
we're gonna go back to the first movie.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I made a note when I was watching the third one. I'm like, this the finale of the first movie is so good. They had to go back to it twice.
Yes. Which valid. But no, so they have this whole, Marty has to get the almanac.
Yeah.
And Biff,
Ooh la la.
Yeah, I was gonna say all this stuff with Strickland, where Strickland and Biff are talking again. Wilson, just the MVP of these fucking movies.
So good.
Where he's like,
funny, so scary.
Where he's like, "Is that liquor that I smell, tannin?" He's like, "No, I mean, I wouldn't know because I'm not legally allowed to drink." Like, kind of like all that stuff. And he's like, "What is this in your back pocket? Is it homework?" And he's like, "No, because I ain't at home." Like, he's just like,
dude, the way Strickland pushes him, I'm like, that is so inappropriate for a teacher, but that guy fucking deserves it.
Oh yeah, Strickland is a crazy character.
Yeah. Probably not a good teacher, but
no. Or isn't he a principal?
He's a principal, but presumably at some point he must have been a teacher in his past.
But yeah, so yeah,
probably Maddie doesn't have his grandfather's hair.
True.
Dude's got a mane in the past.
Beautiful, luxurious locks. But yeah, so Biff swaps out the dust jackets.
Yes.
For Strickland so that he can keep the almanac. Pretty smart.
Pretty clutch move on his part.
Pretty clutch move on Biff's. Yeah, on Biff's part, like you said.
For a man who has questionable IQ points, that's a pretty.
It is my favorite
move.
thing of this movie that they really lean into the fact that Biff is an idiot.
Yeah.
That like in 1985, like it's clear that he's an idiot. In like the 50s when he's talking with
make like a tree, get out of here.
Well, it's like they also do it with in that scene with Lorraine, I think, where Marty like corrects him like under his breath. That Biff is like, that's about as funny as a screen door in a battleship.
On a battleship,
and he's like
a submarine dumbass.
Fucking moron. Like, even older Biff like hits him, and he's like, you sound like an idiot. Like, he straight up is like, you sound like a fool. Like it is just funny that it's just they're constantly like, Biff, you are a big dumb moron.
You are a big fucking tool.
But that's maybe the one smart thing Biff does is that he swaps the jackets.
It's like the thing of like he is a formidable foe because he's just smart enough.
Yeah.
To create all kinds of trouble. But like generally speaking, his character's really dumb.
He's super dumb.
But like it's not like when they're like doing the chase in like the tunnel and stuff, like he has that moment of like he's trying to reach for it and then you sees him in the rear view and he's like, I'm not gonna grab it yet. I'm not gonna even look at him. I'm gonna wait till it gets closer. Like the guy can plan ahead to a degree.
Only if it involves violence.
No, honestly, like it's that thing of like this
aggression
dude's like,
he's got on lock.
Yeah, it's like that thing of like he is kind of a quick thinker. It's bizarre because every other part of the movie is him being like saying the stupidest thing you could imagine.
It's just great. I love watching people be like, "What the fuck are you saying?"
I know, but he makes
so
for
funny.
a really great bad guy.
He is, and again, Wilson's performance, I think, is
Tom Wilson,
reason why.
If you've never seen it, has an amazing stand-up routine.
Yes.
Where he also goes into this and he sings a song about knowing everyone.
True.
So check that out. But we love our undersung actors on this show.
I agree.
And I think Tom Wilson is maybe in the top 10.
Oh yeah,
he definitely works, but like he does not get
works.
the praise he deserves.
No, but yeah, like I think all this stuff is so fun, and like again, I love the choice. I mean, this movie and all the movies have such iconic scores, but to leave Johnny Be Good as the kind of like as the music as Marty is like hanging on the ladder, like the tension of that I really feel
really good. And then the fact that all the cronies are like, we're gonna beat him up. How do you get up on stage? It's like, fuck, now he's gonna beat me up in the past. Like I have to stop them.
Billy Zane nails that fucking line of like, how did he change his clothes so fast? Like, he's so confused. Like
Billy Zane's so good.
I also love the idea that like the thugs not the thugs, but like Biff's friends are waiting in the wings, partially because I guess they don't want to ruin the dance, but also in my head it's like that they're like, he is fucking killing this. Like they're like they do like the music, they're bopping to it.
I think they're also like, we got to get Marty before he gets off, because in the first movie, right, they put him in the trunk and they come out and they're like, what'd you say? And they're like, oh, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Like they're like, no, the band could take us.
That's true. The band will.
So they're like, we
beat
can't
the shit out
go
of
and get him now because
they're
we'll
a
get
bunch
in
of
trouble.
idiot
But
kids. Like, but yeah, like all that stuff, like leaning it with the little guitar riff when Marty goes a little metal. With Johnny Be Good, like he drops the sandbags, he drops it twice, like all that stuff is so good.
He makes his daring escape.
I do love that he gets to see George punch Biff.
Yes,
which he misses in the first.
Yeah, he
movie.
doesn't get that moment. That's cool.
That he gets to finally like.
Especially after seeing it's like, yeah, you take that bitch because like he killed you and like we've just stopped that. Like,
yeah,
Like that's a good win moment for
It's
everyone.
also like it's like one of those things like it's a defining moment as an individual.
Yeah,
and
which is followed by one of my favorite gags of.
oh yeah, the guy. I think he stole his
I
wallet.
think he took his wallet. I think he took that guy's wallet.
Another testament to character.
An
actors
amazing
is
character
that
actor.
Fucking
That guy
doing that bit
came,
twice.
Dropped gold, left.
When
That's maybe my favorite joke in this trilogy. Is I think he took his wallet.
Well, especially when Biff is like, "Where is he?" He goes, "Who?" He's like, Calvin Klein." He goes, "Who?" And he goes, "The guy with the hat." And he goes, "Oh, he went that way. I think he took your wallet." And then he turns to some
To the camera.
ambiguous person off screen both times going, I think he took his wallet. It's such a good
Like
bit.
he's like, I know something that you guys probably didn't catch, but I
Yes.
think he took that guy's wallet.
But yeah, so they have the standoff like you were
they do
mentioning
that.
in the tunnel.
The tunnel.
Marty does a fucking flip.
There's a flip, crazy
So
ass flip.
sick.
That's some like Tommy Oliver level like acrobatics.
Truly.
I will
And
not elaborate who Tommy Oliver is. If you know, you know.
that would be, yeah, if you're listening to this podcast and you don't know, am kind of surprised. But
I'm only dating myself.
they do, Doc has that great line where, Marty's like, well, what if we just run into him? And Doc's like, are you fucking crazy?
He's like, he's in a battleship.
This car's
we're
made of
in
aluminum.
tinfoil.
Like, he's like, it will shred us like paper.
I know, yeah. I was gonna say there's a lot of moments where like Marty's like on the walkie in the back of that car being like talking, and I'm like, how did he not hear him? And then I've like, oh, if you actually ever heard how loud cars were from the 50s, they're loud.
Yeah, yeah. It's also, again, Biff is dumb.
Biff is dumb.
He may just totally be
No,
completely...
he's just like, listen, Papa loves Mambo, Papa.
Love that that's the song choice. So perfect.
But yeah, so we have the whole standoff. Marty makes his daring escape.
Yes.
Biff
falls into manure
He
again.
crashes into more manure.
The level of unhinged that Tom Wilson shouts, I hate manure. It is, again, it's like, throw him an Oscar. He's so fucking
like,
good in this.
If he couldn't afford to keep his car now, he definitely has to get rid of it.
Well, because he shredded it along the tunnel.
He shredded it.
And
Yeah,
now it's
presumably
covered in
more
more
damage.
manure.
But yeah, now we're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of like $10,000 worth of damage minimum.
Yeah, it's such a good...
in current U.S. dollars.
Yes.
Not 85, not 50. Well, in $55, it would have probably been.
It
Hell,
is-
at $55, it probably would have probably racked up a $10,000 bill.
True. It is funny that you see Tom Wilson as some version of Biff get knocked like 3 different times in this one
What do you
movie.
think they use for fake manure?
Oh, actually, I
you know
think
what it
I
is?
know what it is.
It's got to be like chocolate and food dye, right? And
Let's see.
like
How do
edible
you
moss?
as I
maybe
look
it's like
this
dyed
up?
cheese.
As I look this up, what do you think? How do you feel about the ending as they burn the book and all the
ending?
stuff with the time circuits being glitchy and
For
what
a
happens
movie
to the
that's
doc?
so much about time travel, I like it because it's like another thing to deal with. And I feel like that's kind of what's fun about this movie is it's like if I didn't have enough on my plate, I have another thing to deal with. And it's like kind of like the secret sauce of the movies, especially that first one. It's like, okay, so I not only am I trapped, but now I've maybe erased myself from existence. So I've got to get my parents back together. Now I've got to, she's fallen in love with me. So I got to get her to fall in love with them. So I have to then do that. And then I have to escape this. And then I have to start the car and hit the lightning just right.
Fair.
Like, and then this movie, it's like same thing. It's like, okay, we got to save the kids. And then we got to pick up Jennifer. Then we have to go back and stop Biff from ruining the future.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So it's like ending the movie with the like lightning strike gets them. I'm down for, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. And at least that cool moment of like the guy pulling up and being like, we've
Such a
had this
good
thing
ending.
for 70 years. We've had bets that you would even be here. Like it's just this weird urban legend that the post office has, you know?
I will say to answer your question of what the manure is made out of, it literally is made of like dirt and gardening soil and like clay.
So she just has art products in his mouth.
It's just like they've literally just dumped soil on him.
Wow.
So it's not easy.
Shout out to Tom
Like,
Wilson for just shoving that all in his face.
He does that a
and
couple.
spitting it
They
out.
make him do that.
Presumably he had to
twice.
do a couple takes.
Or no, they do it. It happens in the third one too.
Happens in the third movie again.
Good on him.
But yeah, I think I've always thought that like the minute he gets struck by lightning, a car rolling up with key information because of time travel, it's like he knows exactly when he left.
Yeah.
It's like I think that's so cool.
I agree.
And very like it's very timey-wimey. And the fact that this is now that they've established that it's like part 2 of 3, it's like fun.
I think I agree. Well, I agree. I think the obvious, yeah, it's like they knew they were shot these movies back to back. They knew they were doing a third one, but I think this is one of the best cliffhanger endings I think of all time.
I think it's
like
great,
that.
yeah.
It's like Doc is missing. You find out where he is. He's, he's in 1885, 100 years in the past from where Marty is from.
Yep.
And that moment, like the guy driving up, all that stuff. I have something for you. Like it feels like they play it like he's like gonna shoot him, which is
I know
weird.
you're like who's this weird time travel man.
But it would be crazy if it's like the Men in Black.
I know it's like Men from the Future. It's like we figured it out, and we figured out you're disrupting everything.
But yeah, like it's like he gives them the letter. He's all the Doc's alive, and the mail delivery guy says, it like, do you need any help? And the way like that, the car driving up, all that stuff is such a great setup.
Yeah.
And then the add-on again where it's like, do you need any help? And he goes, there's only one man that could help me. And you cut to the end of Back to the Future 1.
Yeah.
And like that, I'm like,
Doc is having a crazy life.
Yes.
Like just insane. Because like,
well, of course he'd pass out like you would at the end, like he does at the end of the movie. Sorry, say what you were saying.
No, that's what I was gonna say. I just said the whole, just like, because his arc, right, is 55 Doc has to get Marty back the first time. Then he has to send him immediately to the Western timeline. And then like presumably has to like live his whole life, build the time machine again, go do all the adventure of the Libyans and everything. And then go to the future. Like, it's just like, when you think about that as a man's life, it's like, that's insane.
Yeah.
That is absurd.
Yeah. I mean the shot, I love the shot. Again, it's like they could have ended on the Doc's alive. There's only one man that can help me. Or whatever. They could have ended on, the cut to Doc or whatever. Like, but the choice, I not say they should have, but they could have done those things. But then the final beat of that, like 3-part conclusion of Doc having that moment of victory and being like, my mission is accomplished. And then Marty running from the back of the frame as the music's like, dum, 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 as he runs down. And the way... I mean, I just sent you Back to the Future. I know you did, Doc, but I'm back. I'm back from the future. Camera push in. Great Scott. Pass out. Camera goes back. To be continued. Yeah. Like, fucking, it's clockwork.
A great cliffhanger.
It's so good.
And it's so fun that it's like woven into the thing of like when you it's like that is like, it's just a crazy adventure. Yeah. And I love it.
It's like also the idea of like, you've gone on this wild ride and guess what? It's not over. Like, and I know that the trailer for Back to the Future 3 that they do
it's like in
this, it is in it. It was always in it. I think originally it was actually at the end of the credits that they didn't play it immediately after.
I think that's a smart move.
But they've just adjusted that now with new releases.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I mean, at this point, it's like, when you're going to adjust it, it's like, you don't have to have that there at all.
Yeah, it's like, we know.
I bought the box set, you know, like...
I just think it's a fun, like... I do think it's well edited, the little compilation with the
now we're doing the Old West version of it. It's basically like the whole movie.
But no, I think the ending is perfect. I think 1 and 2 have perfect endings. I love the ending of 3, and we'll get into it next week. It doesn't give me the same like I don't have fully the same emotional response. Not that I think it's a bad ending, but I think 1 and 2 are just so. I mean, roads where we're going, we don't need roads, and I'm back from the future. Like that, those like they don't. 3 doesn't really have the line like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, Back to the Future 2, fucking just a blast. Literally just fun, nonstop. Like again, I don't think it's as quote unquote iconic. But
I just realized
that we're on a new system.
We have a new system.
Yes, we do.
I'll talk out my system out loud.
Well, also,
remind the viewers and remind me.
He texted me the old version of the We Need One score.
We've done a lot of time traveling ourselves. So there's a couple episodes we recorded before the new system and after the new system.
Yeah, we were using the new system at the same time as using the old system.
I think we debuted it last week.
We did. We debuted it with Back to the Future.
Next week.
Back to the Future 1 is our first on the We Need One More board. Which for us comes out in a couple days, but for the audience watching this episode, heard it last week.
Yes.
Time travel.
Time travel.
I'm the Hulk.
What?
Time travel.
Oh. Is the Hulk known for time traveling?
Yes.
I was like, which issue? When in the movie? And I was like, oh yeah, all of Endgame.
Yes.
Which clearly, I mean, the influence of Back to the Future to Endgame. But
Dish is still out. He's unfortunately not here.
Yes.
To get into our We Need One More, the score is we each get 3 points.
Yes. And when we're in the middle of movies that we know have sequels, it's more just for our amusement at this point.
More for our
honestly. But like, you know, we're talking specifically, it's 1989, pretend, you know. What is our score? Should they have done a third?
So yeah, this is the thing where it's like it
But then
literally
we'll
ends
recap.
with
Well, next
a
week we'll
trailer
talk about all
for
of it.
the next one.
Yeah,
Like,
so
next
it's-
week, we'll talk about all of it.
Sorry if our score is irrelevant for this episode. But we're going to do it anyway because it's the name of the show. We need one more.
That's true. I would say for my 3 points in terms of like, and I guess we can rate this out of 6.
Yes.
Or I guess out of, what are we going to do with dishes now that Dish isn't here?
Like, we absorb his points. So
we each get.
So we have 5 each.
Okay.
4 each, but we each get an extra point.
The thing is that it's supposed to go to 9 with the ability of one of us to throw in a bonus point to throw it to the We Need One More board.
Okay, then we should each have 4 points.
I don't have one.
You don't.
Because, or I guess one of us has 4, one of us has 5.
Yes. Do those reset at the end of the season? Probably. Yeah.
Oh, like in terms of who?
your point, or are you just out for the rest of
We're
the show?
still working out this system.
We're
a
at
little
season 10, and you're like, I
I
wish I hadn't used it on.
I think they reset season to season.
What did you give it for again? Was it Back to the Future?
I gave it to Back to the Future. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I can't give it to this one. But I would say on my we'll just say 3. Let's rate
Let's
this
just
out of
keep it
6,
with-
and
out
then
of-
lucky number 7 if you want to throw in a bonus point.
Yeah.
In terms of the quality of the film, while I don't think it maybe has the same thematic weight or success as the first one.
Yeah.
I do think it is well plotted. I think it's pretty smart.
It's incredibly rewatchable.
It's so like in terms of quality of film and like characters, generally I think it's a win. If it's a thumbs up, thumbs down for me, I'm giving this a thumbs up. In terms of rewatchability, I think this movie's so goddamn fun.
Like
it's
the first
constantly
one,
throwing jokes.
You keep rewatching it, you keep picking up new details.
Yes, so that gets a 2 for me. That gets the second point for me. And then in terms of narrative runway, I mean that's a gimme in regards to this. This is an obvious.
You
point.
have to do it one more to get in there.
Yeah, so this movie gets a 3 out of 3 in terms of.
I'm in the same boat for basically the same reasons. It's just, I mean, again, obviously this ends and you're like, this demands more.
Yeah,
With it all, just that alone, and I just have fun with this movie. It's so much fun, and yeah, it's not as undeniable as the first one, I guess, but it is, I think, better than Dan Harmon would give it credit.
I would agree.
I think he's wrong. I think this movie's too much fun.
Are you going to give it an additional point? You will not make me upset if you don't.
I will be holding on to my additional point.
How fucking dare you?
I know. No, I'm going to hang on to it because of, I think,
I threw it for the first one. Yeah.
That first one, though, is so
I only bring it up
iconic.
to bring it
But in the name of, like, I don't really know
your
what
own
I guess,
runway
but my
of
own
throwing
runway,
the.
I guess. I'm like, I want to save that point. There
Very
might be
fair.
something later in the year I need to use it for, I guess.
Interesting. I look at the
And
schedule.
as much as I love this part 2, I don't want to.
You want to save it?
I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it.
I knew going into last week's episode that I was like, I'm throwing this point in there.
Yeah,
I was
give
like,
it to it.
I can't not. I would be lying to myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess
Good stuff.
So for us, this gets a 6 out of a possible 7.
Yep.
Doesn't make the We Need One More board, but certainly, like, I think this movie hits. I mean, it's a 2-parter. It's one of those things where like it is quote unquote an unfinished story in the sense that there are hanging threads. It's intended as a 2-parter.
Yep.
But I still think this movie is completely successful on its own.
Yep.
Yeah, this movie rules.
Good shit.
It's great, good
Really
fucking
good
time.
shit. Yeah.
And next week we will be talking Back to the Future Part 3. We will be
talking Back to the Future next, part 3.
concluding, and we will be reckoning with the question of do we need a Back to the
Do
Future
we really
4?
need one more reboot? What have you?
It has been
miniseries?
discussed and proposed and asked
And
to
we'll-
all the actors for decades.
Yep.
We will talk about that next week.
Next week.
I certainly have thoughts.
Any final thoughts?
Not
Not on that, but just in general.
final
about the movie?
thoughts is I think we should have rehydrated pizza. That seems really
That sounds
convenient.
awesome. I eat DiGiorno's like twice a week, so like
Yeah, I kind of would love that. And give me a real hoverboard,
yeah.
please and thank you.
Damn it, Needles.
Nobody calls me chicken needles. Nobody needles. It's the hit on the nobody. You got to hit the nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody
Yeah.
needles.
It's a good one.
Any final thoughts from you? Other than the nobody calls you chicken?
Just want a Pepsi Premium.
Hey, fine. You can get that with chicken, pork, beef, or yeah. We'll see you guys next week.
We'll see y'all next week. We'll see you next week.
Nice. Thank you for listening to We Need One More.
Be sure to follow us on socials like TikTok and Instagram at WNOM Podcast to stay up to date on upcoming episodes.
And feel free to join our Discord community where you can share your thoughts on the movies we're watching together. That's going to be at WNOM Podcast server with a link in the bio.
Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. That's the best way to support the show and to let us know that you need one more.
We'll see you next week. This podcast is produced by Pilot 9 and 9 Ball Creative.